There you go. Good morning, everybody. Marilyn Manson, You're So Vain. I picked these songs through the Twitter, and then I want to hear them, and then we start babbling before the show, and I don't get to hear the song. And then it just ends, and then it's all awkward for everybody.
Yeah, then we're just kind of talking, being picked up by the microphones.
We were reminiscing about going to CES back in the day and out there in Vegas.
Yeah, those were fun days, man.
Where XM paid for everything. It was unbelievable the money they would throw around.
Yeah, they took good care of us. It was we would broadcast live 2 days, I think we would do it, and some fans would show up, and they would bring guests in. I remember Sirius at that time was so much lower on the subscale, the subscription sale.
Yeah,
and I don't know how to describe what subscription sub meant.
They were way behind.
They were way behind, and we had fun, man.
Yeah, it was a blast. They would fly us out, and then we would just fool around out there for a couple of days, and that was it.
Did you ever come with us, Travis, or no? Were you...
Not to Vegas, no.
Okay.
No.
You didn't make a Vegas trip?
No.
They wouldn't fly the full crew. It was like just for money.
Well, boy,
it was fun to listen to, though.
Yeah.
Back in New York.
Elo would come. Jaime would come. Hugh Pinero would admit under duress that we did work for him.
Yeah, he was not happy that we worked for XM.
He was not a fan.
Oh, my God. He certainly wasn't.
Was he the head of the company at the time?
Yes, he buried us. He literally buried us. Yeah. He hired us, and then you had to pay an extra fee just to get our channel. It was bad. When we
he did that on purpose.
Oh yeah, man.
Because it was actually like $3 a month or something, right?
Yeah. When I first met him, he walked in and basically said, "I'm no Mel Karmazin," and I'm like, "Well, that's too bad because I love what Mel Karmazin could do with a radio company," and he basically said that he doesn't like us or our show.
That's how you guys started off your relationship.
Yes. Yes, that's how it started. That's how low we were after sitting out for a couple of years. Because we were supposed to work for Sirius. You know, Scott Greenstein, another winner. We work for him now, so I shouldn't say that. But
oh, you call him a winner? That's fair.
Yeah, he's a winner.
He would like that.
Look, the company's doing very well. He wined and dined the shit out of us, and we're in a suite, taking secret meetings, and everything was great. And then he stopped returning our agent's calls. And Bob, the stupid Bob's like, no, I think, they're busy with this and that. He'll get back to me. And I'm like, Bob, I'm telling you, something is drastically wrong. The guy's whining and dining us, and now he won't even return phone calls anymore. And then we happen to be going to lunch on 57th and 7th right there near the Red Eye Grill, but it's the other restaurant for the locals. And I see Scott Greenstein as we're waiting for our table, and he won't say hi to us. I'm like, really, Bob? You still think there's no problem? And then finally Bob woke up and said, oh, boy, this doesn't look good. And then we learned that they were going after Howard, and they didn't need us anymore, so they just literally blew us off. Went from talking to us and saying this is going to be great, blah, 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 to not returning phone calls anymore.
Yeah, it was the end of the show, and the girl that they had been flirting with in the audience was kind of like, maybe I'll fuck her, but then there's a hotter chick that walks by. It was like that type of. It couldn't have been more fucking brutal.
That's absolutely. And then
so they're working you just in case Howard didn't take the gig.
No,
you're working you guys as a backup, and then when he came in the picture,
you never know. Who knows? Maybe that was always his goal.
Yeah, I only know my side of it. I don't know what they were thinking because I felt like they were really, really into us in the show. And then we had to go back to XM and like, oh, well, can we maybe make a deal with you guys?
Now, did XM know you were negotiating with Sirius?
I don't remember anymore. No, I don't think so.
Right.
And then we went back to XM, and then the day we were signing the contracts in Washington, which should have been a good day, Hugh Pinero walked in. I guess he felt like I got to put my foot down with these guys because we were a bit wild, as everyone knows. So he's like, look, I think he said something like, I'm no pushover like Mel Karmazin. And Mel Karmazin wasn't a pushover. And let's make this perfectly clear. I don't like your show, he said, but I understand why we should have it on our platform because we were bringing in a fan base for him.
Yeah.
But then he buried the show and made all our fans pay an extra fee to listen to us. So it was crazy times.
I remember meeting. This is what a fucking how happy I was we were going to be back. I would have literally, if they handed us chock full of nut cans and said talking to this, I would have been happy. I fucking met him at the train station like he was off fighting a war.
Oh, right.
Like a fucking girl. I met you outside the train station,
Penn Station.
To get the updated fucking news.
Yeah. Oh, and we made a shitty deal with XM. We had no choice, though. They had us by the balls. By the fucking balls. And then Eric Logan came in and saved our lives. Saved our lives. Because we were going nowhere fast. And then Eric Logan actually called me to congratulate me on signing with XM. And I thought that was weird at the time. But he was already kind of negotiating something to come on board. And then he was able to not really turn Hugh Panaro around, but he was able to kind of make it a little more pleasant for us in those early years of XM.
But then you guys went over to K-Rock. It took over David Lee Roth, right? You doing both shows. Wasn't that right in the beginning, too?
That was about a year in.
A little more, I think, actually. Didn't
A little
we,
over a year in,
yeah,
maybe?
there was rumors we were going to try it at first. What was his name? Fareed wanted to do us on terrestrial, but it didn't work. He was just playing things from your guys' CD.
Yeah.
And
oh, right. I forgot about that.
it didn't work. And then it might have been 2 years. No, I mean, with him, it just never happened. But I would say about 2 years in.
No, it was less than 2 years.
Was it really?
Yeah, it was probably a little over a year.
2000. We started October of 04.
Yeah, and I think I think it was early 2006, a little over a year.
Yeah,
I
early
believe.
2006 is when David Lee Roth took over.
Took over.
Yeah. Because Harold
Yeah, I
went
know
to
it was
Sirius, I
longer
remember
than that.
January 9th,
Was it longer than that?
2006.
Yeah, dude. It's because I remember
Wow.
we had a pretty
Kenny knows.
good fan base by then. I want to say 2007.
You started at Free FM in April of 2006.
Oh, okay.
April. All right. So a year and a half later.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah. All right. We'll split the difference. We're both sort of right. Anyway, we started with Marilyn Manson and You're So Vain. I don't know why. Oh, it was because we were talking about CES. Because I said I'm not a fan of Alice Cooper, and then Jimmy reminded me that he couldn't have been nicer to us at CES. He
was awesome, yeah.
And I swear I don't remember ever talking to Alice Cooper.
It has to be around 05, 06.
Yeah.
It has to be.
Yeah. And that came up because in You're So Vain, Johnny Depp is playing.
Yeah.
And then Travis said something like, I thought you weren't a fan of Johnny Depp or Johnny Depp as a musician. And then that led us to Hollywood Vampires, which led me to say, I don't mind Johnny Depp as much as I mind Alice Cooper. I've never liked Alice Cooper except for a couple of his hits. And then that's when Jimmy said, we talked to him at CES. So see, it brings everything together.
This should be
that
an
we just
additional
talked
feature
about.
behind the story.
Right.
How we got to the story.
You got to see. You should go see Alice Cooper live sometime when he comes to New York. He's great.
I've never seen him. I don't know what it is with him. I don't know. I just never got into his stuff.
Yeah, I don't listen to a lot of his music, but he was a really nice guy.
Yeah. So now I feel like an asshole if he was nice to us, but not really trashing. I mean, he's got his fan base. Yeah. I just don't really think that Hollywood vampire thing is going to take off. Do you, Jim Florentine, who knows a lot about music?
Probably not. You know, and it's just a bunch of guys getting together, friends, and jamming and just putting something out. And yeah, I don't think so.
Joe Perry's very excited about it. Joe Perry's hoping that this becomes the thing.
Yeah, well, because Steven Tyler's off doing country, and Joe's really pissed.
That's what I'm saying. That is so obvious that he just wants to rub it in, Steven Tyler's face. So he's really hoping this thing takes off. I mean, they'll do well out there.
They will, yeah. It's just a gay. They're just doing some covers. Fucking. This is more to hang out with Johnny Depp, and Johnny Depp wants to hang out with them.
Yeah,
that's all it is. They're like, Johnny. It's like you're a fucking sex symbol. You're a great actor, and he wants to just go out and be a rock star, and they just want to hang out with a really cool actor. So it works out.
Yeah, they'll have a good time, and they'll get some crowds.
Yeah, they'll. I mean, if they're going to do live shows, they only did like 1 or 2 out in L.A. If they're going to take this on tour, they'll do 2,000, 2,500 people.
They've got 3 dates right now.
Oh, they do.
They're playing Turning Stone Casino. I don't know where that is.
It's up in by Buffalo.
They're playing there in May.
Okay.
I want to go out in a band. I want to play the tambourine.
Yeah?
I want to be in a heavy metal band and play the tambourine.
Which heavy metal band?
I want to tour Black Sabbath. I'm going to see if they'll let me go on stage with them. They probably won't.
You might be a little late.
Yeah, it's a tour with the tambourine.
I think Ozzy would have allowed that if you suggested it.
He would have been very sick of my face.
He would have allowed it for one show.
Why is he still here?
Here's little Jimmy on. With his tambourine. All right.
It might be all right. I mean, look, it's a bunch of friends just going out on tour, and it's just like comics.
Yeah, I'm sure it's going to be fine.
Yeah.
I just don't really give a
No,
fuck
it won't
about
take off.
And then we learn about the death of Keith Emerson, of Emerson, Lake and Palmer.
Shot himself.
For all the prog rock fans out there, were you ever into prog rock, Florentine?
A little Emerson, Lake and Palmer, a little bit. There was one album I liked.
You like Lucky Man?
Yeah, there was a few songs or whatever. I wasn't a huge fan, but they were always, they were big in the 70s, I remember.
They knew how to play their instruments.
Yeah.
And they knew how to play them well, and that kind of led to Keith Emerson's death. He shot himself. I swear when I saw this headline over the weekend, I just saw Keith Emerson died. I'm just assuming it's that time. We've finally hit that time where all our fucking rock stars are going to start dying off that we grew up with. And I didn't know he shot himself.
He had nerve damage, and he felt he couldn't play anymore. Certainly didn't affect his aim.
Yeah, exactly. He was only 71 years old. Very funny. Nerve damage to his hands affected his playing, and his girlfriend, Mari, said his girlfriend. She said he was tormented with worry about upcoming concerts in Japan. God, you just continue to worry. This guy had a fucking nice career going for himself, and he's worried about shows in Japan. She found his body in the apartment they shared in Santa Monica early on Friday morning. Shot himself in the head.
He had been playing. What had happened? Well, he played a bunch of gigs like last year, a couple years ago, and I always know when Florentine farts and is waiting to see. He has like a child look, and then he sits back to see what happened. Like I can see when you're doing a test, and then you're
testing the waters, are you?
That's it. Yeah.
But he was so he was doing these gigs, and he felt like he let his fans down because he was reading this online stuff saying he should stop playing. And it's like at age 71, the last thing you need to be doing is reading stuff online, because those guys aren't used to the online Twitter, the amount of fucking hatred you get.
Yeah.
So when they see it, it's like, oh my, it's this overwhelming. They've never had that before. So it becomes this overwhelming thing. Yeah.
So he probably thought, oh, this has got to be true. Look at everyone saying it.
He's thinking it's all the fans, or he's thinking it's everyone feels that way, and then he fucking.
That sucks.
But he's probably also depressed because of his hand. But see, you're 71, dude. You've had a great career.
He probably had some other issues going on there.
Maybe.
I mean, I would have to assume he did.
I would hate to have my instrument, I'm pointing to my throat vigorously, damaged and not be able to perform.
Yeah. 71, though, man.
My instrument.
He's got a nice little Japanese wife there or girlfriend.
Oh, no. She was probably one of those big posters. That's the problem. He opened up and her scream was the one who was attacking him. That's why he shot himself. Got a fucking huge head on him. Jesus.
Yeah, that's a giant head.
Wow.
He was extremely talented.
Looks like Florentine. Gee, he looks a little like you, Jim. If you're like 50
She's saying
years
I got
from now.
a big head.
Well, yeah, you've a lot of brains in there. You're a big dude.
I wouldn't mind looking like that at 71.
No,
That's
he
not
looks
bad.
pretty good.
He's looking all right.
Yeah.
Keith wasn't feeling well on Thursday night. He had bronchitis, so I tucked him up in bed, she said. He was sleeping when I left, and I thought he was sleeping when I got back, but then I realized what had happened.
I thought he sneezed. That was a gunshot.
I'm still in total shock. His right hand and arm had given him problems for years. He had an operation a few years ago to take out a bad muscle. How is that going to work in the end?
Who knows?
But the pain and nerve issues in his right hand were getting worse.
Did he just have that because he was getting older, or was it like an accident? Did he injure it somehow?
Keyboardist, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he probably had that fucking carpal.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe he had some of that carpal that got worse and worse.
And these guys aren't used to everybody videotaping the shows and putting it up on YouTube, so everybody's watching that too.
Right.
These guys in the 70s that no one even saw. You didn't even know what they looked like unless you bought a magazine, the band, so...
Yeah,
he's going to go in concert. There was probably some footage of him online from last year, too.
Well, show me...
YouTube comments making fun of him, saying, oh, man, he's lost it, hanging up.
Well, I mean, show me a clip of him playing bad.
Yeah.
Wait, let me finish the story before we move on there. Let's see. He had concerts coming up in Japan, and even though they hired a backup keyboard player to support him, you never want that.
No, but it's like, again, it's 71. It's easy to say, but it's like you had injuries. It's like you're a legend at this point. You can just kind of coast a little bit. You're 71 years old.
There's bands that do that. Aerosmith's got a backup singer. He's actually on the stage in the back. They got a little light on him, and he fills in the backing, some vocals with Steven when he's singing.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and they have him out in the open and stuff. There's a lot of bands that do this.
But a background,
just to fill in
a backup.
I think to fill in the back, as he's doing his thing.
Well, you could hide him. You don't even have to show him.
Right.
Yeah.
He read all the criticism online, like Jimmy said, and was sensitive. He was a sensitive soul. Last year he played concerts, and people posted mean comments such as, I wish he would stop playing.
I mean, look, people can be cunty online, but you also can't let it drive you to kill yourself. Like, it is what it is.
Right.
It's basically online is a lot of people who might be thinking something or just saying it to each other. I mean, so you've always had that your whole career, people who thought you stunk. It's part of it's a part of being a performer.
As soon as you put yourself out there, there's always someone right around the corner to say how much you fucking suck.
Yeah, you have to go comb your hair with a fucking rifle. Just get a hold of yourself.
What a wonderful life we've chosen for ourselves.
Yeah.
He was tormented with worry that he wouldn't be good enough. He was planning to retire after Japan. Okay, that doesn't make sense. All he had to do was survive the Japanese dates, and then he could have retired.
Maybe he was so freaked out about it, or maybe his hand was acting up, or who knows, man.
He didn't want to let down his fans. Well, I think he let them down this way, don't you think?
Yeah.
He was a perfectionist, and he
Poor
thought he
bastard.
wouldn't play perfectly, made him depressed, nervous, and anxious.
It's terrible. To put that, I understand, my instrument, and I'm touching my throat. To have it damaged would be terrible.
But he's probably thinking, what am I going to do? I've been a musician my whole life, and now my career is officially over. I got nothing. That's what got him out of bed every morning. So
Yeah.
Go for a hike.
no, why?
Go for a hike. Get some fresh air. See
You
nature.
you could just walk. You don't have to go for a hike.
You don't like hiking?
No.
Why don't you like hiking? What's
For
wrong
what?
with hiking?
I don't know. What's going to be at the top of the mountain?
Just to chill out a little bit, take in nature.
How are you
be by
chilling out when I'm
yourself,
fucking
get
climbing a
little
mountain
exercise.
and I'm sucking wind?
Why are you
That's not
sucking
how-
wind? You're not that old.
I know, but that's not how I chill out.
How do you chill out?
Just watch TV. That's how you chill out. You don't climb a fucking mountain
What's your show?
and then hope you don't, slide in the mud, fall.
Slide in the mud. Why would you slide in the mud?
You put your hiking boots on too? You got your hiking
I
boots?
got some hiking boots. I don't get to hike these days, but I would
Do you
like
keep
to go
them near
hiking.
your rollerblades?
I haven't rollerbladed in years, but they won't let it go. I'm thinking of getting back on my rollerblades this spring, though.
You are.
Now that my back's in much better shape, yeah, I think I might go for a spin or two.
I've never hiked before, but I would like to.
Let's go hiking, Jimmy.
Yeah, I would like to do it once. It's good exercise.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just want it for the exercise.
Then we'll worry about the mountain lions if they're just kind of following us.
That freaks me out. Once in a while, somebody gets their fucking face clawed by a bear. Who needs that shit?
When I was out in LA for a while, when we were off the air, I did a lot of hiking in the hills up there, Hollywood Hills or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I found some other hikes out there, and I didn't see the sign "Beware of Mountain Lions" until I came out. And I don't know if I would have went because I was just by myself. Because supposedly they're fucking sneaky, those mountain lions. Supposedly they fucking follow you.
Yeah.
Very carefully and then pounce.
Yeah, they're like, why you in my space?
Right.
Go down the fucking hill where you belong.
But
you want to exercise, go to the gym.
I was freaked out when I came out and went and saw the sign that I should have saw beforehand because I was just all willy-nilly with my hike. And no one was on this hiking trail. I don't know, whatever. Over the weekend, how were your shows, Jimmy?
It was a great trip.
Yeah?
The people who I've never been to Indy, I've never been to Grand Rapids, and they were nice crowds who came out, and they were fucking great. Cleveland was phenomenal.
Cleveland is always phenomenal.
Yeah. So the two I was worried about were the two that I'd never been to, and the crowds were excellent. So the tour's going. I'm happy.
Yeah, good.
I'm very pleased with it.
Stay happy.
Yeah. And so there was a question about the meet and greets. Can I straighten this out? Because people thought we had sold meet and greet tickets because a lot of it's just too long after the theaters shows to meet everybody. And I had sold them, but then I'm like, I got too many requests.
Right.
To fucking, people email me, you gonna come out? You gonna come out? So it's like, I can't just say no. I've never said no to. And then they were having trouble. My agent said that there was like a Ticketmaster thing. We couldn't get the meet and greets refunded. So I honored them. And I couldn't do that meet and greet, and then those people felt they got fucked out of money. That was why I didn't come out. But it was a Ticketmaster issue because we didn't sell them. I think either the venue or Live Nation or something sold them.
Oh, okay.
So anyway, that was why I didn't. It wasn't because I didn't want to come out.
Oh no, you've always been cool with fans.
I've never said no to meeting fans.
I mean, behind the scenes, he'll motherfuck you guys, but
Always.
But I mean,
even after you walk away. Every time we take a picture and you walk away, I Purell, fucking dirtbag.
Especially if you don't like the crowd. You thought they were maybe a little sensitive, and then you got to go out and meet them, and you don't even want to look at them. Like, ugh.
You know, it's funny.
And you're waiting for those comments. Man, it was a tough crowd tonight. Oh, man, I don't know what was wrong with them.
The worst is when you hear that after what you think is a good show.
Oh, yeah.
That's the worst when you have a good show and then someone's like, they're a little tough tonight. You're like, when?
Because like one new joke didn't work. You go, oh, that one didn't work. And that's the only thing they remember.
Don't do that. Jimmy's going to fucking shoot his head off.
Yeah. I've enjoyed them, though, and they've all been... I wound up doing it in Grand Rapids because I didn't have a thing sold there. But fuck, man, the people have been so... I did a church. It was this old church.
Wow.
Last year, Patton Oswalt did it, and the fucking sign fell on him. And it's a massive...
What do you mean that sign fell on him?
There was a comedy. It's called Laugh Fest in Grand Rapids. It's a great place for a festival. And the Laugh Fest sign fell on him in the church while he was working. It was supposedly really funny.
I think there's video, or at least a photo of it.
Oh, is there?
I remember when that happened.
I got to see this. Good old Patton Oswalt. We got to get him back on the show. It's been too long. One of those mountain lions just killed a koala. Where the hell does this guy live that a mountain lion could kill a koala?
Broke into the zoo in California.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow, really? We're looking for the Patton Oswalt sign. I don't see it yet. We'll find it. So how are the... didn't you guys have to, like, drive in the middle of the night after the shows and shit?
We had 2 4.5-hour drives,
right?
Which I only thought it was 1. So the first night we did from Indy to Cleveland, because I had to do radio in the morning. I did Rover on Friday morning,
right?
So I was like, I don't want to miss that. So we drove the night before. The night before, but we were both so tired afterwards. Like I'm like, fuck this, let's just fly.
Jesus,
because there was no direct flights from. I took 2 25-minute flights to get to Grand Rapids. It was really weird. I loved it. Being up, you're up, you're down. You're up, you're down. It was fucking immediate.
But you had to take 2 flights?
Yeah, there's nothing connecting from Cleveland to
And by car,
Grand Rapids.
that's a 4.5-hour ride.
It would have been faster to drive. With the layover we had, it would have been faster, but it was relaxing. We just fucking...
And you guys were probably too tired to make the ride.
Yeah, man.
I heard you ran into our old pal, Tyson.
Oh, Tyson Walter. Yeah.
How's he doing?
He's very good. He came to the show.
Nice.
We ate afterwards, and it was really good to see him. And he brought a friend with him, and we had a lovely dinner.
Yeah, I saw him a month before in Cleveland. Yeah,
Tyson Walter rules.
Oh yeah, I love him.
He looked very healthy and happy, and he's doing quite well. He looks exactly the same.
Really?
Yeah.
He's not aging, that son of a bitch?
Not at all. He looks exactly the same.
Got to hit him in the knees a few more times.
That's how you know you're getting older, though, and that's what you notice on another buddy when you see him. You look like you haven't aged. You know, I'm like, oh, I'm at that point. I should really hang myself.
You look exactly the same, really, do I?
Well, that's what you have to say to every girl that you want to fuck. You haven't aged a day.
Since the last time I saw you?
Phenomenal opening line.
You haven't seen me since I was 14.
Yeah. But we're lucky as comics to play like an improv or funny bone for like 3-4 nights in the same city where you don't have to drive like a band every night 4 or 5 hours.
That's what Jimmy's
brutal.
doing.
I know.
Jimmy's up
That's
to
rough.
Moving around like a band.
Yeah.
Next time you should get yourself a little tour bus.
You know, there's not enough dates to do that. I thought of that.
That would
it's
be
expensive.
awesome.
It's expensive, but it would cut down on flights. But the problem is, I'm only doing I'm off this week, and then the week after I do Portland and Denver, 1 show each night, and that's it. Mm-hmm. This fucking theater tour is making me so happy.
Yeah, I can imagine. So they're doing 3 a night,
just one show.
Or 2 a night. Sometimes 3.
Done.
Every once in a while, you guys do 3 a night.
Yeah, normally it's 2. Usually it's 1 Thursday, 2 Friday, 2 Saturday. But man, this is fucking. It's so easy to do 1 show.
Oh, I know. 1 is the best.
1 and done.
Oh, it's great.
Saw Jim in Indianapolis. Asked him about the sign language part of the show. What was that?
Once in a while. Oh, I forgot about that. Once in a while, you get that. You have a visually impaired person, or just a hearing impaired person. Yeah, blind person that would do no good. Fucking sign language. But they have deaf interpreters, and they come and they stand on the stage, not on the stage, but on the floor.
Who pays for that?
The venue, probably. Americans with Disabilities Act, they're required to do it.
Oh, no kidding.
But I just fucked with them a little bit, and it was fun. It was really nice, too. I've been talking to the audience more. I usually don't do crowd work, and then people are like, "We like when you do crowd work because it feels like in the moment and alive." And they just like it. It reminds them of the radio show or whatever. Just the talking with no plan. So I'm doing it more. It's really fun.
Oh, good.
I haven't done it in years.
That's so weird. just having an interpreter like that.
But yeah,
that
but you just
shows
fuck
up.
with them. It was so much fun to have. But it's only like the second or third time it's happened.
Right.
Once in a while you get it.
You got to film that if you're fucking with her.
You know, I would, but it's just you don't know it usually till day of show.
You got to get someone to film that chick. That'd be funny to watch on YouTube because I just know what you would do. You're just fucking with the person, making them sign all sorts of horrible stuff. Right?
Oh my God, yeah, and that's what any comedian would. There's no comedian, even Seinfeld would make a blowjob motion if he saw fucking.
That'd be fun.
I did it in a show in Mexico City like a year ago, and I had a Spanish interpreter on stage. So after a joke, I just have to wait so she'd explain it to the crowd. I'm like, look, they're not even going to get it in English. It doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't matter. But most of them got it anyway, but they had it there just in case.
Wow, that's what gig was that you had to do that?
Me, Jameson, and Trunk do these live gigs.
It was a private party for El Chapo.
Our show's big in Mexico, so we went down there and did some stand-up gigs.
What percentage of the audience were able to speak English?
About
Hopefully
50%.
0.
50.
50.
That means you suck. Nice.
That's a rough gig, dude. Stand up for people like music is one thing, but stand up for people who don't speak English is fucking scary.
Can't imagine that.
Because so many cultural things you like. Will that translate? Like where I put the punchline?
I know, because we did a gig the next night, like 4 hours away from Mexico City, and they had no idea what we were talking about. But they were just so excited to see us, they didn't even give a shit.
Right.
They made bootleg T-shirts of our show and sold them outside for like $5.
That Memel show, they called it. They didn't quite.
So all these guys are wearing all these fucking shirts. Like, where'd you get that shirt? The whole crowd's wearing them. They made them outside. Yeah.
Someone made a nice.
Yeah, I know, because we lugged all this merchandise to fucking Mexico, and we're like, no one's buying it shit.
Oh,
Like,
wow,
they bootleg the
that
shirts.
Stinks. How's Mexico City?
It was great. We played a casino there. It was nice. I mean, it's fucking. You can't even move. The traffic is so fucking bad there.
It's crazy.
I mean, it takes you like an hour to go 5 blocks.
Were you nervous? You didn't want to walk though?
No, no. You were allowed to walk like a couple blocks, but the other gig we did 4 hours away was, I was really nervous. You stopped at like a convenience store. There's guys with fucking machine guns out there, standing out there, and then guys get robbed all the time. They fucking hijack a car going down there and shit like that. Drug dealers.
Jeez.
Yeah.
I'm like, what are we doing this for?
Why were you?
I don't know, like a lot of bands have gone there. A lot of metal bands have gone to that same
so they
city.
talked you into it.
Yeah, they're like, no, it's fine. All these bands have been there. It's safe. They're yeah. The agent
Would you go
doesn't give a
back?
shit. Probably not. I'd go to Mexico City. It's safe enough there, right by the airport. But the other one, 4 hours away, no way.
That creeped you out a little bit.
Yeah.
You did a
don't know.
4 hour drive. You got to get gas.
Yeah.
Did you rent a car or did someone drive you?
No, we had like a van that drove us.
Did you have fixers?
What's a fixer?
People that kind of understand what's going on, and they're able to talk to the locals.
We got security.
They're called fixers, right? I think that's what Anthony Bourdain calls them when he travels.
Maybe. I don't know. I know a fixer's a guy in L.A. like Liev Schreiber plays in Donnie in Ray Donovan.
Yeah.
But that I don't know what they're called in other countries. It might be that.
Is that the term I'm thinking of?
Yeah.
Yep. There you go.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, Anthony Bourdain, when he does all that crazy travel, and he gets the locals that understand pretty much what's going on,
Right.
and he looks to that guy, the fixer, and the fixer will sometimes go, I don't feel comfortable right now in this area, and then they're like, all right, whatever you say, and then they leave, and then come back when maybe it feels a little safer, or sometimes they never come back.
Yeah, we had a couple security guards for first day we got there in Mexico City. The promoter had to pay for them, and we felt bad. Like, we really don't need them. No one's ever asked for them, but we wanted just in case.
Yeah.
But then we didn't use them for the second day.
Oh, okay. I don't know if I'd go to Mexico City.
No, it scares me. That scares me.
Absolutely.
I don't even know if I'd go for. I mean, Mexico City is a very high kidnap rate. I think the whole area does. It's just crazy. And I'm such a target because I'm such a glowing bundle of optimism and joy.
Yes.
People want to possess me.
Indianapolis show, Jim wore out the first signer and forced them to use a second during his act. Too many BJ motions.
Yeah, there was a lot. But they also, I got to say, they always have two. Like one will do 15, 20 minutes because they're not used to the rigorous performance style
Your rhythm.
of a Jim Norton.
Because they're just rapid fire with the jokes.
Yeah, the name of the special when I shoot it is going to be boom, 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 because that's how I do mine. No, they always have two. They did in Atlantic City too, when we had that. They just tell you they're doing it, and I don't mind. But it was. If I read the email that I get, they send you an email going, "Look, we have to have this person here," and
It's got to be a little bit of a distraction because they're off to the side of the stage, obviously. They're on stage, right?
no,
All the way in the corner? Oh.
No, they're off. They're on the floor. Maybe in some venues they're on the stage, but it's never a problem because everybody knows what's happening.
That's a person that loves comedy that goes through all that.
Or just needs the money.
because they're
Oh, you mean the deaf person?
yeah, because now they're staring at the signer in front of them instead of you on the stage.
Yeah.
Or because the best way to do it would be to have the signer right in front of you, so then they could have the visual and the the interpreter telling you what's going on.
I think you're in their eye line. Like, I think like you're both in their kind of their same frame.
Yeah.
And people don't even really, the first 15 minutes before I mentioned, I didn't feel like anybody was distracted by it or whatever.
Yeah, they'll look for a minute or two, and then they're just watching the comic on stage, the regular crowd.
They know what it is.
Did you meet the person afterwards?
No.
So weird.
No, I didn't think to.
I find that a little weird.
No. I mean, I understand why they'd want to come for the visual. It's obvious.
All right. What do you guys think of Trump? The Trump shit was a little wild this weekend.
It's just
a little wild. Someone's going to get killed. You know that, right?
The left, the way they're going after him for his, oh my God, his things are so violent and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, really, it's funny. If you want to go after violent rhetoric, there's a lot of people with much harsher rhetoric than Trump has. And they don't say a word. Mm-hmm. They won't say MSNBC. Well, now they're just panicking his fucking...
They're freeze-framing punches. Protesters, there's always shit going on whenever you're protesting. You know what I mean? That freeze-framing, that one punch where that white guy punched a black guy. It could have been it didn't have necessarily just because he was black. Some guy that was causing a problem there was walking by. Look, I was at a Flyer game on Monday and 3 guys got punched.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it doesn't matter. So but they just keep freeze-framing that. Look at this white guy punched this black guy. I didn't undo what he was black.
What's the sucker punch?
Well, they're now infiltrating... you didn't know about the old man?
And Trump, oh yeah, no, I just saw that.
A reporter.
This guy's a scumbag for hitting that guy on his way out.
Supposedly Trump wants to pay for his legal fees.
Yeah, that's where Trump's got to stop.
That protester is absolutely leaving peacefully, and the old man, he's 70-something, and walked right up and just sucker punched the guy.
Well, he's leaving peacefully because he's got security right behind him kicking him out.
Sure.
Too. So who knows what he did right before that.
Our instincts are like to see. I always want to see someone get punched for being an asshole in public. But if you're protesting at a political rally, that's kind of an American thing to do. Mm. And Trump's got to stop fucking pay the legal bills of that asshole who fucking sucker punched that dude on the way out. Even if the guy's a dick, he was walking out and after protesting at the political rally of a guy who's very polarizing.
Yeah,
that's what you get.
And obviously groups are now infiltrating these Trump rallies to cause problems.
So you get 12,000 people showing up. No one's doing that at their rallies. What do you think, that no one's going to protest?
And they want Trump to ask for civility, but even if Trump asked for civility, I think this whole thing would continue.
Yeah, but he's saying things. This is where Trump is going to. This is if anything's going to undo him, it's going to be the fact that he doesn't know to shut up. Like, you can't say, even though I think it's hilarious, I'd love to punch him in the face. Like, I love that he said that.
That was really funny.
But it's also when somebody gets killed at your rally, or if it happens, or somebody's beaten badly, or something really violent happens. Then there's going to be a backlash against you. Like, a lot of people who are supporting you and go like, "Oh, this guy's." Out of control. There's something. It's just stupid.
He's unhinged.
Yeah, stop.
The media also shouldn't be interviewing the guy who ran up and tried to get him at the podium on Saturday.
You mean the ISIS kid?
Yeah, CNN interviewed him yesterday. Like, you shouldn't be giving these guys attention.
Trump said he's an ISIS kid. Is that true?
No,
I don't think so.
I know it's not true. I'm just saying.
But they would do that to anybody, and anyone that can get the story.
There was a video of him doing some kind of protest with. They don't know if it's fake. He says it's doctored.
That's the stage rusher right there.
Yeah. This kid. So why don't we play a couple of these clips? Which one you got? Because Rubio's very concerned.
Oh, of course he is. Rubio's jealous because 9 people show up to his fucking rally and half of them have water for him. Thirsty jerk off. Shut up. He's just jealous.
If Rubio loses Florida to Trump, he's
good.
He's going
finished.
to lose to Florida.
Good.
But he said he's going to continue.
Of course he will. These little children, they don't know. They're little spoiled babies. They don't know. Nobody wants you. Go home.
Yeah, no, he's going to get his ass kicked in his home state. That's pretty obvious. The one that's going to be close is Ohio. Trump and Kasich are pretty much neck and neck. I think Kasich has a slight lead, right? Last I checked.
That completely backfired on Rubio trying to attack Trump.
Didn't it?
Playing
'Cause
Trump
he
tactics.
Stinks. That's how fucking awful these guys are. There's not any of them that have 1 ounce of backbone to just be themselves. He's the only one being himself.
Yeah.
A pompous ass and saying what he wants.
Yeah.
And not caring about repercussions.
And the establishment is so pissed off by, this whole Trump phenomenon. These guys who have truly hated Obama for 8 straight years, this is the best they could do. They had 8 years to set this up and get a solid establishment candidate.
Yeah,
and they failed miserably, and now they're mad that Trump's, taking all their headlines.
Yeah, you guys are mad that a guy comes in and is saying things that you guys either don't want to say or are afraid to say, or a guy who isn't backed off. You guys should have put someone who was like him up, but just more if they would have put a fucking guy.
They could have groomed someone, Jimmy. They had 8 years to groom somebody.
A guy who said, said honest things, or a guy who spoke honestly and wasn't a complete soundbite douche. You had a long time to build that guy, and you didn't do it.
And Rubio,
They never took him serious from day one. They go, he's going to blow up.
But no one likes Cruz. His own senators don't like him, although some are now endorsing him. And Rubio talked in sound bites until recently. He was just one of those soundbite politicians.
But why are people attacking Trump? So you got to stop with that shit too. He's just saying things you don't like. You can't rush the stage.
No. And I said it, and now it's pretty obvious. People laughed at me when I said a lot of people are going to these Trump rallies because it's a show. If there was a Trump rally nearby, I'd go in a second because it looks entertaining as all hell. And people were calling saying you're crazy. Everyone there is are there because they truly support the guy. There's a whole bunch of people going to these things because it's like going to a rock concert.
Absolutely.
He's got catchphrases and everything, and you can chant along, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Kicking out the protesters. Get them out. Get them out.
It's like pro wrestling. It's like going to a pro wrestling match.
Right. I'm sure the majority of the, I don't know. I don't know what the numbers would be, but certainly a whole bunch of them certainly are supporting Trump and going to vote for him. But there's also a whole bunch of people just going because it's the thing to do in their town, in their city. It's just fun.
I want to hear more out of him. I would like to hear some specifics at this point.
Right.
It's like, come on, man. I like the guy. I like the fact that he's annoying everyone. And I like the fact that he's humiliating all these fucking establishment stiffs. But it's like, I would like to hear specifics.
This isn't going to end well. The rallies are getting crazier and crazier. The protesters are now, hanging out outside these venues. More and more crowds are appearing. I don't know something bad's going to happen, right?
Well, no, I think they'll just beef up security and make sure it's super tight.
Well,
and don't let this shit go on.
Yeah, but I mean, how do you beef it up outside the venue as well? They were pepper spraying the shit out of people in Kansas City over the weekend and pushing them around with the horses and stuff.
Did you see the tweet of the guy? I'm sorry, guys. It had my fucking Kansas City date on the billboard in the background.
Oh, nice!
The guy was talking. Yeah, did you see that on Twitter?
Were you in town with Trump?
No. It was just I forget. I'm coming to Kansas City in a few weeks.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, there's a clip from the news.
Oh, look at that. On MSNBC, I did not see this. Trump protesters clash with police. In the background is a little Jim Norton is going.
At the Midland, yeah. That's a great little
to the
theater.
Midland in Kansas City. That's awesome. I didn't see that.
Yeah, somebody tweeted me that. They catch everything.
That's funny. Start with the Rubio clip with Jake Tapper.
Rubio.
This was from yesterday morning. I actually saw this when it was going down. Push play on this.
Would I be overstating matters if I said you sound like you're actually concerned that somebody, before this is all over, somebody might lose their life?
Just say die.
I'm very concerned about that. I'm very concerned. We don't know what's going to happen next here. I know that we've reached a point now where people in American politics have decided that if they don't agree with you, that they can get angry at you, that you're a bad and evil person, that they can say anything they want about you.
Right, kind of like the way you guys have been doing with Obama and like the Democrats have been doing to you. You're a bad person, you're an evil person. That's all you guys do. Yeah. Shut the fuck up, Marco. That's all you guys do.
Yeah, the first day in office, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. No, you're not.
No.
They pick each other apart all the time. What a fucking baby this guy is. That's what they do.
Right. You're 100% right.
All the gates of civility have been blown apart. And we've now reached the point where on both sides, everyone is just saying or doing whatever they want. And, you can't just say or do whatever you want. This is not about political correctness. This is about rules of civility and the way a society talks to each other. And let me ask everybody this. Do we really want to live in a country where everybody hates each other, where everybody's at each other's throat, where because we disagree on the role of government or the tax rate or Obamacare or foreign policy, we now in this nation cannot have a discourse or agree on any other issue.
Shut up. This is exactly what makes people sick to their stomach. You've been doing nothing but trashing the Democrats, and they trash you. It's what you guys do.
He goes after Obama pretty hard.
The first day in office, I'm going to overturn Obamacare. I'm going to overturn this. It's executive order. I'm going to overturn it.
Right.
So you're ripping the guy apart, saying he's a piece of shit. Every decision he made was wrong.
Yeah.
But you're saying don't spread hate. Everyone's spreading
discourse and civility. Go fuck yourself.
I never thought that Rubio had that inside him when he was trashing Obama. He would give him a pretty good beating. Continue with the Rubio thing.
End up hating each other, because that's what it feels like. It feels like we're reaching a point now where in America, everyone hates each other. I'm so tired of arguing and fighting with other Americans. Yes, we have serious disagreements, and let's debate those through our republic. But we've reached a point now where if I don't agree with you on something, it's not just that you're wrong, but you're a bad person, you're an evil person, you deserve nothing. I mean, all the rules that once governed our discourse have been blown away, and we're headed in a very dangerous direction. And yes, there are people out there that are unbalanced.
Here's what this means. The way that we have done business for a long time is being challenged. We don't like this new element because we can't play on that field well. We have been used to co-signing each other's garbage for all these years across both party lines, and now somebody is here who's talking to us in a way and talking about us in a way that we're not used to. And we don't like it.
Yeah.
There's always been fucking protests with politicians. There's riots all the time. A fucking sports team wins something and people riot. So stop it.
Yeah. All right. There's 5 protesters at a Trump rally at 20,000 people who are fighting. Okay. You go to a Giant Eagle game in Philly and there's fucking 17 fights.
Yeah. There's a jail in the first
quarter.
In the first quarter. So all of a sudden there's a problem where people hate each other. Go wear a fucking Eli Manning jersey to an Eagle game.
Are you saying it's about time it made it into politics?
Yeah, so, this shit's been going on a long time. Every Monday morning we see a fucking video of a Giant fan getting the shit beat out of him in Philly or wherever.
Yep. Right.
Or in Oakland, you know what I mean? So,
I think it's getting pretty crazy, though. I don't know how this ends. This is getting weird.
They're going to beef up the security is what it's going to do. And they're not going to let these assholes in and cause a big scene and try to rush the stage. And they're not going to let people sucker punch people in the face. That's what's
I think it's going to be something more happening in the audience or outside the venue. I think it's going to get to the point it gets really ugly. That's what I'm thinking. Because, he's not going to stop these rallies. Right?
No.
Let's see. Let me say hi. Before we get to the other clip, let's say hi to Ken in Chicago. Good old Chicago. What's up, Ken?
Yo.
Hey, man.
Hey. Shit's been crazy, and that's nuts. I think he made a big mistake when he thought he could go to the West Loop in the middle of a black and Latino neighborhood to hold his little rally. That was a bad decision. And
it's a very democratic area that he chose, and you guys pretty much kicked him out of the city.
Dude, I've never seen a presidential candidate be kicked out of a city that he's supposed to govern. I've never seen that. I've never seen that in my entire life. I've been watching politics for a while, and I've never, ever in my life seen a presidential candidate, somebody who's supposed to be in charge, cause that much of a hubbubaloo just because he was going to show up to speak.
Well, I don't think they kicked him out as much as, for whatever reason, they made a decision that there was going to be major problems in the street, and they left. So it's like, I don't know if that's a reflection on him or the fact that those people just don't like the fact that voice is being heard that they don't agree with.
Wasn't there a little controversy? No. Wasn't there a little controversy because Trump said the police suggested strongly that he... No, I know. That's why I'm bringing it up. Supposedly, Trump said that the police strongly suggested you probably should cancel this rally, and now it's coming out where the police department's like, we didn't tell him that.
Maybe one guy did, or maybe Secret Service did.
So I don't know. I'm just trying to get to the bottom of it a little bit.
I don't know, but when the police said that you lied, I'm not even a police guy like that. But I've never seen a presidential candidate have an entire police department release an official statement suggesting that they lied. I've never seen that in my entire life.
Well, I think he made the right move by canceling that thing. It was getting nuts in the audience.
I've never seen anything like that.
Well, you know,
I've been to Obama rallies. I've been to what was that? I've been to Romney rallies. I was at Ron Paul rallies. Even Ron Paul rallies weren't even this crazy.
It's a different vibe with him, it seems, right? Because he's not a politician. He's bringing in. It's almost like the anger coming in. People are like he's spreading all this anger. No, he's not. He's just the fact is people are sick and tired of these people and hate these people, and they're using him to kind of go, yes, this is the guy who's kind of voicing our dislike of these people. If he was saying something that didn't resonate with anybody, he'd be talking to 20 people.
Can I say this? I think he's running a very old script that when you run it in groups of people, it gins up and foments a rage. And I think he's doing it in our faces. I think that we are in a state of denial at what we're witnessing. I think it's very interesting that suddenly we are accepting riots and fighting in crowds as some sort of normalized behavior. And it's very frightening. As a black person, I'm terrified. But at the same time, I think this needs to happen. I think this needs to come out, and I think it needs to be dealt with.
Dealt with how?
It's dealt with how you. Opie right there is. He's talking about the inevitable conclusion about what's going to happen with this sort of thing. I hope Donald Trump becomes president, really, and then we see what happens. With this guy is openly calling people to pledge his support by raising your right hand. You know what we're seeing.
He kind of.
But you do understand the difference. Come on, stop.
I thought he explained that pretty well. He says, "Look, we go, at these rallies, we really have a good time," and he said it wasn't meant to. Well, I mean, come on.
No, hold on. Wow. What you really? So you think that he's like, okay, let's do a Nazi thing?
Right.
Come on, dude. Don't be silly.
I don't think I think that these people are very intelligent individuals. I think they're running a very old script. And I think that this script has been run over and
no. But let me. What do you think? You said that, but what do you think about the right hand raised thing?
Yeah, find the explanation. I thought Trump explained that pretty well.
The same dumbbells that were calling Obama Hitler. It's like, come on, stop it.
This guy, I've never seen anything like this. I think we are witnessing it happening in real time. I think that there was an air of denial that led up to and that facilitated the rise of these very ancient and evil forces. And I want to say that I don't want to sound hyperbolic here.
But you are ancient and evil forces. He's just tapping into a public. He's tapping into a public who is sick and. All right, go ahead. You talk. Sorry. Go ahead. No. Sorry. I didn't mean to converse with you. I apologize. I didn't mean to converse with you. You go. It's your show.
Hello?
Yeah. No, I apologize for interrupting you. I apologize for trying to talk with you. You go right ahead.
Okay, I just want to give you
mention that we're seeing something we've never seen before. Say the same thing again. Go ahead. You go. Your turn. I'll just listen.
Okay, there's a video you can look up. I think it's...
Cool, way to understand sarcasm.
It's about what is that? It's about the Trump rally in St. Louis. And if you look at the video clips of what went down there, these people are losing their minds.
Have we never seen this before?
I mean... there's some serious violence.
Not since 1968, the news reminds us of.
Yes, this is
the good old George Wallace.
It's only... It's interesting how this guy who is tapping into something, people are just sick and tired.
Racism.
Oh, sorry, didn't mean to. Go ahead. I apologize. You go right ahead. Sorry. When you paused for a second, I thought we were talking, but I forgot that I am simply merely here for you to bounce your monologue off of. Go right ahead.
Are you done? Or?
Every time I'm trying to talk, you just are jumping in. Like I'm trying to talk with you, but you just keep jumping in, so you don't want to have a conversation.
Yeah, I think Jimmy is right. We're trying to have a conversation.
Like I'm not yelling at you or talking like over you. I'm trying to listen to what you're saying and then respond to it.
Yeah.
But then I'll start something and you go, if you go to St. Louis, it's like, come on, dude.
Okay.
I think you're incorrect. I
First of all, you guys sound like a husband and wife.
I know. Well,
Let me talk for a second. Can I get a word in? You guys are a husband and wife right now on the phone, and I love it.
I feel like I'm talking to my girlfriend.
Well, I think that you're incorrect. It's not this evil, ancient thing. People are tired of the way business is being done for a long time, and this guy's just tapping into something. The same way Obama tapped into a different thing when people were also sick and tired of the way the country was being run, and Obama felt fresh and young and new and a first black president, and that tapped into a lot of people. And again, his rallies were a lot different, but just Trump is tapping into an anger that people have. So it's not some ancient thing.
It didn't feel okay. So I'm just saying that when people at your rallies are screaming, "Bitch, whore, you whore, Allah's a whore, Jesus is the Most High," they're screaming this type of shit. I was there, and this is ancient shit. I mean, it's like you're ginning up you're ginning up religious tensions. I mean, I'm Nigerian.
Wait, Allah, hold on.
I think Trump is tapping into, a portion of the lowest common denominator in America, but it's certainly more than just that. A lot of people want to paint this as just Trump is talking to the lowest common denominator, but there's a lot of educated people that are also feeling this Trump movement.
And the religious thing, dude, if people are yelling that kind of stuff, you know who you blame for that? Your religions. Don't blame Trump for that. Don't blame Trump. Christopher Hitchens, who I wish I had met, did a brilliant speech about how all hate speech comes from religion. It did all anti-gay speech. Like, you can't go on to college and say the word faggot, or you can't. But man, if you want, the Bible is a very protected thing. The Quran is a very protected thing. That's where all the hate speech comes from. Basically, it started with those books, or at least that's where most people today get it from. So that's your religions. Don't blame Trump, because your religions encourage each other to not respect the other religions.
But people aren't screaming this at Rubio rallies. They're not screaming that stuff at Bernie Sanders.
Maybe they're not. Maybe they're not. Maybe you're right, dude. Maybe they're not screaming "fuck Allah," but they are. Look what happens in other places when they scream "Allahu Akbar." Look what happens when they yell that. So let's not pretend that Trump is creating religious animosity.
That trigger, that switch, is in people universly. And when you get into groups, in front of groups of people, and you gin up that rage, it's very easy to get people to react in this sort of way. When you're getting people to raise their hands and pledge their salutes, and you're getting them to chant things, and you're getting and then you're throwing the hate stuff in there, then you're throwing the race stuff in there, then you're throwing the religious stuff in there. I mean,
so I guess you shouldn't speak your mind the way you want to speak your mind.
And we got to find Trump discussing the raising of the hand, because at first I was with you, Ken. I'm like, wow, this is getting crazy. Trump's getting people to raise their hand and pledge to him, to Donald Trump, instead of pledge to America. You're supposed to pledge to America, not to an individual. And so hold on. So I'm thinking, oh my God, this is nuts. But then when I actually listened to Trump explain it, I was okay with it. But then the media ignored the explanation and just kept going with the fact that Trump had everyone raising their hand at the rally.
I mean, the picture exists, man.
The picture looks awful.
So what do you think it is? Let me ask you, Ken. Do you really think that he's standing there on purpose and saying, "Let me do a Nazi thing"?
Yeah.
Okay.
God,
if you believe that,
completely disagree with you.
If you believe that,
right. I mean, it's that crazy.
Okay, that's what you believe. So that's where you're coming from.
Yeah. And that's our jumping off point, because there's so many people that want in. Thank you, Ken.
You think that he purposefully
I just
stood there and made a Nazi salute?
No. He's in front of 20,000 people, and he just did it off the cuff type of thing like that, and then he had to explain it afterwards.
No, he did. No. Is he going to kill the Jews too, or is he just going to kill Muslims? What do you think the end game is?
Know.
Okay, no, you don't know. Cool.
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm not in his plan room. But it doesn't look good. I think we're going to see a lot more flints. I think that sort of stuff is going to become way more systematic.
Sure.
I think that a lot of people are going to, I think that you're going to see people, we already have a whole group of people ghettoized. I think what you're going to see is that these people are going to be moved from urban centers into places that are way far the fuck out of the way. And they're going to be, it's going to be a situation like South Africa.
Ken, you sound exactly like people did before President Obama took office. It's going to be Muslims and third world. Like, everyone has these fears when these guys come into office or are about to go into office. What do you think? There's no more checks and balances?
No, I think it's already happening.
Oh, God. Ken, thank you.
All right, Ken.
We got to give somebody else a chance, but thank you for your phone
Trump
call.
is
Ken in
the one
Chicago.
always pro-Israel. I love Israel. I do all the stuff for him. I'm going to go over. Hopefully, I can work out a deal between them to Israel, Palestine, and stuff like that. But he's going to raise his hand like I'm Hitler and fucking follow me.
And what he said about Muslims was stupid, because even Israel's like, that's silly.
Yeah.
That's stupid.
Yeah.
Even they backed off on that one. He just doesn't know when to not say something. He stinks at like editing himself.
Yeah, he has no filter.
They're all better at it.
That's
all.
what makes it kind of fun that he has no filter. You know, I don't know if I want that as
When they asked
as
him
our
the last-
president.
when they
I
asked him-
really don't know, but
When they asked him in the last debate, do you really think all Muslims hate you? He goes, most of them.
Yeah.
No, most of them.
Yeah.
He couldn't even go, well, there's a select few. Maybe I exaggerated. He goes, no, most of them.
Right. And I don't know if that helps him by saying that or hurts him. I really don't know at this point. I
You got to
truly
show
don't know.
some diplomacy. I mean, it's just
you would think.
the way people are overreacting to it. Oh, it's like a guy like Ken who thinks that literally he's on purpose making the Nazis.
No, I don't.
It's just silly.
I just don't believe that. The media
No.
wants you to believe that because they're pushing that, certainly.
They don't like that he is actually doing something
Right.
none of their candidates are doing.
Right. And the people that know this way more than us, that really are looking at the numbers, they're saying today, as we talk, that he's going to have a tough time with the general election.
Maybe
a
he
very,
will.
very tough time.
Sure they are. The way they said the same thing about he's going to have trouble with this. He's going to have trouble with that.
True.
He's going to have trouble. They keep speculating, and they don't know what the fuck they're talking
Should
about.
throw
Are any hardcore Republicans really going to vote for Hillary? They're not.
no.
There's no way.
I don't know. A lot of these.
My mom doesn't like Trump, but she's not voting for Hillary. There's no way in a million years.
Look, Ted Cruz and Rubio could be confused all they want about the rise of Donald Trump, but the fact is Donald Trump in general is being pretty honest. And Cruz and Rubio are absolutely not voting for fucking Donald Trump if it comes down to it. But they're not brave enough to say that. Rubio, they pushed him into a corner yesterday. Like, look, if he's the nominee, are you voting for the guy? And he goes, I'm not ready to make any statements today. And then was like with a whole bunch of buts. I would respect Rubio a whole lot more if he came out yesterday when he had the chance and said, look, yeah, he's so nuts in my eyes that I will not vote for him if he's our nominee.
Yeah.
But they're still playing politics because they're not sure what that means if they, openly say that. But these guys would not vote for Trump if it came down to it. They probably wouldn't vote at all.
Right.
That's what I think, especially Cruz and Rubio. So, but this is crazy, right? When you're at home just on a couch, it's fun as all fun.
I know. I got CNN on all the time.
Watching that white kid duck that black guy's punch over and over again. How quick was that white kid?
Yeah.
You see that?
He was good.
Man.
Did the press make as big a deal about the guy throwing the punch? Why did he throw the punch?
The black guy?
Yeah.
That's when it was getting a little crazy in Chicago. There was a bunch, but there's one that they just played over and over again, and this white kid gets out of the way in the nick of time. And then I love that Trump called out the media, like on when was the Chicago stuff going down? Friday night or Saturday night, whatever. And all the news outlets had Trump on. And Trump goes, I'm watching your coverage right now, and you want people to believe that this is going on. What, Jimmy?
How the fuck did the cops not grab that guy who threw that punch?
The old guy?
Yeah, the black guy's walking out. Or maybe they did, and I just don't see it on this video. But right now, he throws a punch. There's a car. The cop didn't see it. But they're both, neither one of them actually looked up and saw that when it happened. But no cop grabs this guy, and they throw the protester down. Like, I do understand why people are annoyed.
Yeah.
That guy should have been arrested, and you can't punch a guy in the face as he's walking out.
Yeah, they pretty much let him be. I don't think they dragged him out. I don't see them dragging him out. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 or 7 cops in this video we're watching, and no one's.
Yeah, he's throwing his finger up. So what? He's a protester. That's what protesters do.
Right.
Like, what is Trump? What are you? This is where his arrogance as a businessman, and he's not used to being interrupted, and he's not used to people yelling, "Shut the fuck up" or "You stink."
Yeah.
This is what you have to deal with as a public figure running for office.
Yeah.
You got to handle this well.
Right.
Don't be a baby about it.
But but the point I was making. So as they're talking to Trump about what happened in Chicago, Jimmy, they're showing footage on TV like it's still happening. And Trump called him out. He's like, you're showing footage that is at least an hour or so old. I'm here to tell you that everything has calmed down at this point, but you're showing it in a different way. You're purposely showing the old footage to make people think that it's actually completely out of control still. So he was calling the media out on some of their tricks that they do.
And for the media to actually harp on Trump's Chicago thing and people reacting, it's like, really? Is that the biggest problem in Chicago? Fucking assholes at MSNBC. What's this old guy saying, this Trump reporter?
Did you like the event?
You bet I liked it.
Yeah? What'd you like about it?
This is the old guy that punched the protester.
That big mouth. We don't know who he is, but we know he's not acting like an American.
So you deserved it?
Every bit of it.
What was that?
Yes, he deserved it. The next time we see him, we might have to kill him.
78-year-old John McGraw was later charged with assault.
By the way, this old fucking asshole, that guy's not acting like an American. He's protesting, and you're hitting him for protesting.
Mm-hmm.
That, to me, protesting, even if you don't like what the guy's doing, is a pretty American thing. This guy is an old cunt.
Right. We had someone online. I want to go to him because I want to ask you about that. When does it become disruptive? Because in America, you're allowed to protest and whatnot, but people are mad that Trump is kicking them out of these rallies.
Well,
but
you have to. Dude. You can't.
Yeah, it gets to a point where it's so disruptive that you gotta like kind of get the protesters out, right?
Yeah. Like, I understand if protesters are making noise and you can't talk, they're disruptive. But you can't punch the guy in the face. In that moment, that guy was just walking out. Yeah, you can yell at him, but you can't punch him in the face.
Yeah, there was a guy that wanted in. He's like, but he's kicking protesters out, and you're allowed to protest in this country. But yeah, when it gets to a point you're actually disrupting the performance, then you gotta.
It's a heckler at a comedy club. You gotta go.
You gotta go.
Yeah, try any political rally. If Hillary's talking, and a couple of guys stand up and start yelling things, they're going to escort them out. Let's not pretend. She'll handle it with more diplomacy than he does. But don't act like they're going to let them stand there and ruin her speech.
You mean she's not going to say, I would like to punch you in the face?
No. And that his gut honesty is fine, but it's like that's where you're going to have a problem. Like that's where you got to handle stuff smarter if you're him.
But it's entertaining.
It is, but
it's great.
When you're just at home in the safety of your house, this is some entertaining stuff.
Think about this. If they kept showing a guy in an Eli Manning jersey getting the shit beat out of him in Philly, which did happen this past season, the clip was online, like 6 Eagle fans beat the shit out of a guy, and they showed it over and over again. And everyone's like, what are they going to do at football games? This is out of control. It was one isolated incident in front of 70,000 people at the game. Most people behaved. 99.7% of people behaved. They're just like these rallies. There's going to be one fucking old redneck dude, 76 years old, sees a black guy causing a scene. He's going to punch him in the head because he doesn't give a shit. So you're just picking that one incident out, and you pick that one fight in Chicago, and that's it. You're like, this is crazy. It's not that crazy.
You're a big sports fan. Every time I go to one of those games and you see someone wearing the enemy's jersey walking through the stadium,
my brother does that all the time.
Oh, he does. That's what I was going to ask you.
He doesn't care. I'm like, dude, what do you? I go, cover that up, please.
Yeah, why would you put yourself through that?
Please.
I know now the tough guys are going to call the show and explain to us, but in general, you see those guys, you're like, what are you doing? You're just making your day miserable.
And when I go to a Jet Dolphin game at Jets, and the Dolphins score, I just tap my foot. I'm like, yes.
Yeah, you do a little.
I don't want to get punched in the head. I don't want to fight. I don't want to be in jail.
Look, liking 4 or 5 teams like I do. I mean, there are times I'm rooting for the team in enemy territory, and I do the same thing.
Of course, you know what?
You're just like,
yes, fucking beautiful.
You don't want to deal with a beer being poured on your head or something.
I don't want to explain to the guy, sir, you didn't just call that play that you just got burned. It's not your fault.
Yeah,
don't take it personally. I'm just a fucking an idiot fan like you, rooting for my dumb team that I picked when I was a kid, and I stuck with them. It's not my fault.
But you can't even, when you wear the enemy jersey, you can't even go get a hot dog and a beer without everyone just being a pain in the ass to you.
My nephew, Yankees Angels, Game 6 of the World Series at Yankee Stadium we went to.
He wears an Angels jersey?
No, it was, who were they playing? The Yankees were playing somebody who wore the opposing team's jersey, and he got punched in the head at the urinal.
How old was he?
He was like 26.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm like, dude, don't do it. He goes, I don't give a fuck. And someone punched him in the head when he was taking a piss.
Yeah, that just makes for an exhausting day, I think.
I know.
Unless, I guess, but then if you're with a whole bunch of your friends and you're all wearing the enemy jersey, that is even worse because now you're going to have like a mini fucking brawl. Usually, right?
Absolutely.
Because you feel a little braver in groups. But that one person that's walking through, I'm like, ugh. where they're trying to leave and everyone's just pouring beers over their head.
And they got the escalator or whatever. Their kid with them too. Like the kid's gonna the guy's got his kid here.
Yeah.
After they just had 17 beers and they lost in overtime, the Eagles, on a fucking field goal. Do you think they're gonna care that your 5-year-old's there and they're not gonna pour beer on your head?
No, they don't give a fuck.
Yeah. Somebody I got a tweet. Somebody said, "Whenever Jimmy, you're a smart guy, but when you talk about Trump, I question your sanity." What have I said that's so crazy, or because I dispel the myth or this idiot notion that he was doing a Nazi salute on purpose? Like, what have I said that's so nuts?
I don't know. I mean, he's got to explain a little further. I
like Obama. I actually like President Obama, and I like Trump. Like, sorry, I'm not just signing up for one side or the other. Well, my apologies.
Well, that shows your craziness right there. How could you like both of those guys?
But I mean, you know what I mean?
Polar opposites.
And if I liked Hillary, somebody asked me, I would vote for Hillary this year if I like what she's saying. Yeah. Or I'd vote for Bernie if he didn't want most of my money or a lot of my money. I would vote for him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. Who am I going to tell you? That guy's got to explain.
People get so mad when you don't agree with their politic. Like, we take it so personally when someone doesn't like our political. Like, I see guys on Twitter who I know and like 100% hate Trump's guts.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck.
I know.
Who cares?
I don't know exactly.
It doesn't affect the way I feel about them as people. It's like that's your gut thing. You should talk about it.
I love what Trump has done to the political process. Like we've said many, many times in the show, he's really forced everyone to be more honest. But I don't know if I want him as the president.
Yeah, it remains to be seen.
It certainly does. But I love watching it. This is just, we haven't seen anything like this in our lifetimes.
Yeah.
They say you got to go all the way back to 1968, but I mean,
eventually it's going to be a problem because you got to be able to work with people.
Right.
If you're the president, he doesn't want to work with anybody.
But they're
he just wants to trash him, and then it's just going to wind up. He's going to be in a corner by himself, and no one's going to want to deal with him.
The problem I have is I wish there was somebody who I didn't hate running.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, I don't like. You know, Bernie's the only one out of all of them I really don't dislike.
Mm-hmm. I sort of like Kasich a little bit, but
he's got zero shot though. But I mean,
I know
he's too conservative for me.
He doesn't have a shot, and then I like Bernie Sanders on the other side. Those would probably be if someone forced me to say it. Those are the two I sort of look at.
I'd probably vote for Trump or Bernie Sanders, one of those two.
Yeah, but I mean Cruz, I can't stand. Rubio seems a little more human, but I think it's just too late now.
Bernie was 5 years younger. This would be a lot easier decision. But a 74-year-old fucking socialist
with dandruff,
he
can't even keep his suits clean,
is not worried about my money. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he wants to do as much as he can before he goes bye-bye in the box.
Right.
So, he's into giving everything away, and that worries me. I don't want all my money fucking distributed because he thinks it's going to be a great karma thing for him and God. Fuck that.
I don't like people that don't give a fuck about their own hair. This guy doesn't give a fuck. It's not combed. Please comb your hair, dude. What the fuck? People are agreeing with Trump because he's tapping into people's un-PC thoughts. Was a Hell's Angel. Trump needs a private security detail. The Angels will provide, I'm sure. Mess in Chicago is expected, and Trump planned for it.
Sure.
I need 2 minutes tops. Why Bernie would bankrupt America?
Oh no, Hillary, you're on the phone.
Let's go to Joe in Milwaukee. Joe, what do you say, Joe?
What are you doing? All right, you're a business owner in the Midwest somewhere, paying your employees $9 an hour plus medical. Okay, so now because Bernie wants $15 an hour, now you got to pay that person an extra $6 an hour. 40 hours, that's $240 a week. He's going to give free medical, so he said that. How they're going to make it up is he's going to raise your corporate tax a little bit to make up. Now, your employee is paying $100 a week for medical, and you're contributing $60 a week to that employee. So now you got to make up that $160 in corporate tax, which is at 35%, which is why we're losing corporations in the first place. He wants to raise it a little more to make up for medical. So now you got to pay an extra $160 in corporate tax and $240 for that pay. So now you got to pay $400 a week for that one employee. Now you have 100 employees. You got to come up with $40,000 per week more on Bernie's plan. What the fuck do you think's going to happen? And where is all these corporations that are going to be coming back in when he raises the corporation tax?
Yeah, that's just going to make more people want to go somewhere else with their businesses. That's pretty obvious to me.
You're screaming, sir.
Oh, I don't blame him, though.
Mexico, he's also going to solve the illegal immigration, because they're all going to go back because all the jobs are going to be in Mexico. Now Mexico is going to have the illegal immigration problem because we're all going to be illegal immigrants. So if you're out there and you're making $7.50 an hour and you're like, he's my savior, he's going to double my salary, you're going to be out of work within 3 fucking months. Trump is a businessman, okay? He was on the other side of all of his life. He knew from day one what he needed the government to do for him to get the job done so he could be more successful and survive.
Now I don't like Bernie Sanders. I don't like him now.
Now Trump is on the other side, and he could do for businesses. What do you think he's telling you? He could bring entities back to this country.
But one thing, though, dude, is one thing with a guy like Trump, like a businessman, and this always, corporations typically don't look out for workers unless they're forced to. Like, corporations are typically not good guys. They care about making, I get it, but they don't give a fuck about their workers.
Let's go ahead and abolish. This is one example. Let's go ahead and abolish the corporation tax. Now we got a zero corporation tax. Companies are going to be fighting to get back in. Now they're going to have that 35% to give their employees a pay raise.
But do you really think that without being forced to, corporations just go like, yeah, you're a bunch of good guys?
No,
they don't give a dude. They're awful.
They put those profits in their back pocket.
Yeah,
everyone knows that.
They're not going to give that to the employees.
Well,
Dude. No.
I just explained that Bernie wants to raise the corporation tax. So that means that he's not going to lower it. But if Trump decides to abolish the corporation tax to get corporations in here on the basis that he raises the minimum wage to $12.50, something reasonable.
Okay.
That's what needs to fucking happen. Trump is a businessman. As far as the economy goes, Trump is the only one that can fix it. The only one. Because if Bernie gets in office, fucking everybody's going to be unemployed within 6 months.
Everybody?
Pretty much, because once you're fucking out of work and you can't go to Burger King, well, we don't need you anymore here at Burger King. And then Home Depot, wow, that fucking Home Depot closed down because nobody's in manufacturing making any money. Now they can't fix up their fucking housing. You bring back the corporations. Now a guy that has to take a job at Burger King because his $18 an hour went away 2 years ago, that corporation comes back. Instead of him being at Burger King, he could go back because he has the experience. Now he's making $18 an hour again. Not only does a slot in Burger King open up for a student that has no experience, work experience, but that slot opens up, which creates another job. The person that's making $18 an hour now can redo his kitchen and go to Home Depot. Now this is happening all over the country at the same time.
But sir, don't forget too, if you get a guy who's like a real like a socialist or a guy who believes that, he would give the exact opposite explanation on why the country is going to be better if Bernie wins, because then the workers, like, you know what I mean? It's like, this is the problem with stuff like this, is both sides have very smart people on them.
Okay, let me wrap this. Well,
yeah, I know. Hold on. So we're chatting back and forth. Every side has people who can make it look like what this solution is exactly what we need, and it's probably a little bit of both.
Okay,
I just said nothing
real
there.
Quick. Right.
The guy makes a very good point, though. You fuck with the corporations too much, then they're going to just take their company somewhere else.
The reason they're moving out is because of a 35% corporation tax. If Bernie wants to raise the corporation tax to cover medical expenses, where the fuck are all these companies he's talking about bringing back in?
Yeah, they're going to just put that would push more of these companies out.
Right. I just think,
and then you can't blame them.
Trump has more experience as far as the economy because he was on the other side. Give him a chance on the other. If you vote for Bernie and he gets in office,
well, have you raised your hand and pledged to Donald Trump?
Yes.
All right.
And sir, how about all these corporations that have already left? Like, so many of them have already left because they can get dirt cheap labor anywhere. Like, they can get labor in China or other places for a cheaper rate than Americans can ever offer.
Why wouldn't they open in the United States in the first place?
They go to other places because it's cheaper for them to do it there. So it's almost like we can never. All right, guys, you go, sir. You and Ken ought to have your own radio show and just call it "We Care Only About What We Have to Say." I probably could have come up with a funnier title. It was a terribly unfunny title. My improv there stunk.
That would look weird on a T-shirt.
It would be terrible on a shirt.
Look weird on a T-shirt.
Yes,
a little wordy.
Yes,
I understand what you're trying to say, but listen to this point. If they moved out in the first place because of a 35% corporation tax, if you abolish the corporation tax, there's a good chance that they're going to move back in. If Bernie gets in office and raises that corporation tax, nobody's going to move back in, and more people are going to move out. That's the entire fucking point. So if you're out there making $7.50 an hour, and Bernie's just saying because he's going to double your salary,
yeah,
you're going to be on welfare in Mexico within a year.
I don't know enough about in all honesty, I don't know enough about the economy to say if you're right or wrong. But I will say that if they were to abolish that, if they did that hand in hand with a huge minimum wage raise, but then what about medical stuff? What about the medical?
Somebody asked me, well, what about the 35% the government?
Did somebody ask you that really, or did you just want to say it?
Yeah.
Well, what happens is, yes, the government's going to lose 35%, but imagine how many people are going to be working and paying income tax. They're going to more than make up for it. All right, I think I went over my 2 minutes.
I was about to say that, but hold on. Chris in New York.
Thank you for the...
Chris in New York thinks you're crazy. Chris, go ahead. You're on with Joe.
Hey, guys. How's it going today?
Pretty good, Chris.
So here's one thing you got to realize. What's the percentage of Congress that's actually Republican right now?
I would go with 4.
How much? Sorry?
4% probably.
4%? Republican? Yeah?
You asked me. That's my answer.
No, it's got to be over 50 because they have the majority.
I know it's over 50. Jesus, okay, of course it's not 4%.
I didn't know.
Go ahead, Chris. You're on with Joe.
Majority is Republican, right? Yeah. Now, Bernie Sanders, time and time again for the past 20 to 30 years, has had these very, very, very high expectations for his policies. But he's going against some people who are on the extreme other side. And what he is extremely known for doing, and doing fucking well, is that he can reason with them, and he can still bring his policies to their standards and get what he wants to get done. I can tell you 9 times out of 10, the big, quote-unquote, extreme socialism crap that he wants to get done won't get done, but a portion of it will, because he's reasonable and he understands who he's going up against and who he has to work with.
Okay. I'm feeling the burn again.
You know?
Now you're going to vote for him.
Liked Bernie, hated Bernie, like him again, all within the last 10 minutes.
You know why Bernie is able to get so many people at his rallies? Not quite as much as Trump. Bernie said, well, we have 7,000, while Trump said 35,000 in another state.
Yeah.
The reason Bernie has 7,000 people, they're probably all young, fresh out of school, that don't know nothing about the economy, that are making $7.50 an hour. Bernie's going to double our salary.
Okay, that's great.
I guarantee if Bernie said, I can't raise the minimum wage, he would have 16 people at his next
No, but Bernie's also saying different
Bernie.
social things, too. Trump's social commentary is also alienating a lot of people.
And so that's cute and all, but you got to think about these young people like Bernie, because Bernie realizes how hard it is for the people of the younger generation to break into the free market. It is very hard unless you have connections to get in, no matter what type of job you have. I'm an IT. I was an IT major at one point, and to find jobs, I mean, sometimes it's easy, but if you want a local job where you're not working for a corporation, it's very hard to break through, because people who are older in their 40s, 50s, 60s have already built consulting businesses to do so. So the thing is that everybody goes for, all the older generations go for Trump, because he has this idea that he can maintain that for the baby boomers, so on and so forth. But Bernie gives expectations and hope for the younger generation.
How come black people don't like Bernie? Like, why aren't black people voting for Bernie?
I don't understand that, because they're fucking ignorant. They don't understand the rallies that he was.
Oh, wow, it all comes out in the wash, doesn't it?
But the thing is, if Bernie wants industry and manufacturing to come back, there's no way he could do it with raising the corporation tax to cover medical. Now, if he would have said, I am going to abolish the corporation tax and raise the minimum wage to $15, Now, that's an argument I'd be on his side in a minute.
Okay.
So that makes sense. That's where the fucking money's coming from.
So where are we at? Yay, Bernie, or fuck Bernie?
No, I think Bernie has a lot of good intentions and ideas.
Yeah.
But he doesn't have, his numbers don't add up. And I'll tell you why black people aren't in his favor. Because his number one platform is $15 an hour. And they're saying, why the fuck we gotta work? That's why I don't know.
That's not a very good impression, sir, but I know what you're trying to say.
I hate them all.
Come on. All right, Race Wars would have loved that joke.
All right.
They
We'll
probably
call
would've.
up Sherrod.
We like good
and
impressions here. Hold on, sorry, I'm watching Madonna dressed like a fucking, I don't know what she's dressed like. She's dressed like something out of American Horror Story, the fucking Carnival edition, that ludicrous outfit on stage.
You want to get into the Madonna thing for a second?
Oh, boy, do I.
This is all fake, and the media's playing it up like she's actually drinking and out of her mind on stage in Australia.
Yeah, well, she is showing pictures of her son, which is weird. It's like, what the fuck are you doing?
But she's making believe. I mean, she is distraught, I'm sure, when she's not on stage about her son moving in with the old man guy. But look. What's that headline? Someone please fuck me. Madonna's on stage meltdown, and she's making believe she's so distraught that she's now drinking during her own shows, and the media is buying into it. This is fake.
Well, she said I was
This is
only
fake
kidding when she said that. She's like, I'm just kidding. They don't show you that.
The part about someone fucked me. I'm just kidding. She said something like I don't need to ask for that. But in general, they're all going with the angle that she's actually drunk on stage, drinking tequila. One show she drank a whole bottle of vodka. She's got a little flask. It's all fucking fake.
She got the flask from someone in the front row. You don't think that was set up,
right?
There was no booze in that thing.
But the media has got to know this is fake, but they rather go with the same what am I trying to say? The same commentary as everybody else out there.
What did she say? Let me see her on stage. I didn't see it, except for that one moment.
Sure.
How about the first one where she broke down?
Madonna drunk tequila and said "fuck me" at fans during Australia show.
Please, someone me. No, I'm just kidding. I don't have to ask that for that.
I would.
Look at Marvin just gave me a dirty look. He's like, can you down with the music? Don't reveal your private life to everybody.
What was the first night, though? That was the second night. What was the first night?
Can I read a little of this article that's just complete and utter bullshit? And I don't know why anyone else in the media won't acknowledge this. Madonna looked like she needed a prayer Saturday night as she guzzled booze, begged for someone to fuck her, and called her ex-husband a son of a bitch at a packed concert in Australia. I believe a lot of this stuff, except for the drinking part. She wants people to think she's so distraught that she's out of control. It gets people talking. We're now talking about dumb Madonna.
But like she's got her son's picture up. It's like embarrassing.
Someone please take care of me, please. Who's going to take care of me? The 57-year-old singer exclaimed in one of many ramblings during an onstage meltdown in Melbourne. Wearing a corset and tiny top hat, she appeared unsteady as she tumbled while riding a child's tricycle during one song and was left sprawled out in the middle of the stage at the Rod Laver Arena.
She's making an ass of herself.
Yeah, but she wants you to think she's so distraught that she's now drinking on stage. It's just not true. After the fall, she told the crowd that she messed up and joked, "You would think it was in my DNA." At one point, she pleaded, "Please, someone fuck me," before quickly deadpanning, "I'm just kidding. I don't have to ask for that." The singer, who has been locked in a bitter child custody war with ex-hubby Guy Ritchie, also drank on stage, breaking out a bottle of tequila and swinging from a flask. She dedicated a song to her estranged 15-year-old son, Rocco. "If I learned one thing in my life, it is this: just go with it. If you relax, it doesn't hurt as much," she said, as childhood pictures of Rocco were shown in the background. The Material Girl singer also blasted Ritchie, 47, calling him a son of a bitch. The freak out came after Madonna went on another bizarre rant Thursday night during a free concert at a smaller venue where she took the stage 4 hours late. After downing what appeared to be a bottle of vodka, she told that audience that she was ready to heal the wounds over her son and performed her song Intervention for him.
How embarrassing.
This is all fucking fake.
She's
going to drink a whole bottle of vodka and then sing a song about about intervention.
She weighs 96 pounds. You're going to down a whole bottle of vodka where you don't really drink that much and then still perform for 2 hours.
Why has she got her son's picture up? No one cares.
Because she's a control freak. She's not getting away. The courts are stopping her from taking her son. And it's still in litigation. And, she just wants to have her kid there because she wants her way. She's gotten her way her whole life.
Sure.
So that's what it is in a nutshell.
Video of her on the bike.
And she's not getting it because the judge is saying, no, we'll try to fucking work this shit out first.
Madonna knows how to get people to talk about her. That's why why she's doing all this stuff, and she's not actually drinking on stage.
Yeah, but if she's
just not.
If she's trying to get her kid back, how does it benefit her to pretend to be even worse than she actually is?
No, you think she's drinking on stage? Madonna's drinking on stage and fucked up. There's no way.
I don't think it benefits her in a custody case to pretend to be a drunk.
But when you're so full of yourself, when you're so full of yourself and a narcissist, you don't think of anything else. But let me try this. And I want my fans to feel bad for me. I'm a mom, and I want my son back.
And the tricycle's awful.
And so,
and I'm so distraught.
Look at the tricycle. Like her acting's even bad. Like, oh my God, I'm drunk. I can't ride this tricycle. Look, no.
She's trying to act like
she probably feels like she could explain all this to the court if it comes down to it, that she was just doing this for her performance. See, now she's falling off a tricycle. No, I'm not buying it.
No, that's
Florentine. Help me out here.
No, I already 100% false.
Yeah,
all bullshit.
The melodrama is what's embarrassing to me.
Yeah,
the melodrama. I'm going to sing this for my son.
Right.
What? Imagine being that, how humiliating that is. Oh, mom's dedicating songs to me.
Right.
Fucking boo.
That's the only way she's trying to get her son back. He's going to see this online and think that I really
feel
care
sorry
about
for me
and feel bad for me that I'm on tour and I'm drinking.
He's embarrassed.
He's embarrassed. That's why he's in London. He doesn't want to come back to New York.
You're embarrassing him. You're smothering him. Leave him alone.
He's a 15-year-old kid. He just wants to fit in with other kids and have friends. He
and
doesn't
get
want to deal with
laid.
And doesn't want to deal with this nonsense.
Too.
Yeah, he wants his dad.
You don't think he thinks this is cool?
No, I don't.
No.
I think
there was a picture of him and his dad riding bikes. That's what he wants to do with his dad, and he doesn't want to be at Madonna's concert.
And that's probably all he wanted to do with his mom when he was younger. But she was too busy traveling the world, to feed into her own narcissism.
Yeah, and then she had him on tour the whole summer, and he's like, I don't want to fucking be. I'm a 15-year-old kid. I don't want to be hanging around a bunch of gay dancers and my mom on fucking tour. I got a summer. I want to go get laid and fucking hang out.
Why did he have to be on tour? Because she wanted him around.
Yeah, so she took him on tour, and he's like, this is fucking. And that's when he took off. He's like, fuck that. He just ran to London. I guess when they were over in England, he's like, fuck that, I'm going back to dad.
Doing, dad things.
Instead of just realizing, he doesn't, it's nice for a fan to be on a plane with you. Your son doesn't want to be on a fucking plane with you. He wants to be in a nice mansion.
Right.
Probably has a girl out there that he likes. Likes to fuck her in the face.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Nice girl. Probably fucks her in the mouth.
Yeah.
Hangs her head off the bed.
I hear Travis's point loud and clear. That's a good angle.
I didn't hear it.
But,
what did he say for you?
But, I don't know. I feel like she knows how to explain what she was doing, and it was part of her performance.
Well, Dr. Gay, what do you think?
She's spoiled, and she's not getting her way, so she's acting out. She's acting out like a little child right now in front of the whole
world.
You
saw the tricycle. Does that look like someone drunk on a tricycle to you?
Believe me.
Yep.
This is what's going on.
I mean,
you do that when you're on stage, Chip?
Fuck yeah, I got zoted. It was a hell bicycle, a hellsicle. I see her fall off. That hat is horrendous.
That hat doesn't look good on anyone.
That's a terrible hat.
It's a stupid hat. Has that hat ever looked good on anyone?
No.
The tiny, what is it, a tiny top hat?
On Beetlejuice. It might be perfect. George fit him properly.
I'm trying to think who could pull off the tiny top hat.
The Elephant Man. John Merrick in a top hat would look good. The guy's trying.
So stupid. Oh, she's.
Dr. Gay doesn't agree.
It's not my name anymore.
I'm not.
Ended years ago.
I'm not buying into her bullshit. It's sad that the media is. Instead of explaining all the other things she's done over the years for attention to get people talking, she's brilliant at that.
Yeah,
she really is. She knows how to get headlines, but she's not fucked up on stage. There's no fucking way.
She's not coming out there with a bottle of vodka. There's no booze in that at all.
And there's people behind the scenes. I don't know what to do. She's now drinking openly on stage.
She's gotten zoted.
Yeah, she's going to take a flask from a fan, doesn't know what's in it, and just start guzzling from it. Yeah, right. I'm sure she's going to do that. Yeah.
It's exactly what she's going to do.
You know what I mean? She does, yeah.
But bravo to her. She's got everyone talking today.
Guy on Twitter raised a good point, by the way. About what we were talking about with the with Trump and Bernie. He says, I don't think the media has the juice they used to, and they're flailing because they've lost control of the narrative. Great point.
That is a good point.
I like great fucking point. Because Trump pretty much at one point told Fox to go fuck itself, and then he went back on, but they don't have control of where it goes anymore. That's a great point. Thank you, sir. I would have said that if you didn't.
And a lot of the media despises Trump, but they're just they're helping him by giving him all that coverage.
Yeah.
Helping him. They can't wait to go to the rally and listen in for a good solid 20 straight minutes every time he does one of those things. And that's just helping his popularity as well with all that exposure.
People that have already decided they're going to vote for Trump, pretty much nothing is, unless he comes out and he was a child molester and there's proof, they're going to vote for him no matter what. They don't give a fuck what the media is putting on CNN, showing the same punch over and over again. It's not going to sway anybody.
Nope. But
the people that are already going to vote for him.
Yeah, I agree with you with that, but he needs a lot of that swing vote. That's where this election is going to live or die for him.
We'll see. I mean, look, people don't want to put up with Hillary shit either. So if it's Hillary and Trump going for it, they're going to have to make a choice there.
Yeah.
And, Hillary's just as hated as Trump.
Right.
Is pretty much from the other side. So,
Stunt Brain, what do you think of this?
Yeah, you guys are pretty close on this one. Trump's getting a little nervous about Ohio. He's actually scheduled a rally that he had not planned on doing because the polls got tight there. So he's showing signs that he might be nervous that he could lose Ohio. Kasich is getting a little strong.
What happens if he loses Ohio? He's still ahead in the delegates, but then what happens?
It looks like the math is going to be almost impossible for him to get all the delegates he needs to lock up the nomination, and that would mean a brokered convention or some sort of disputed convention.
Can you explain the brokered the brokered
Do you want me
convention? Yes, Chip, please.
It's when they broker it out.
Exactly. Spot on.
I feel like I'm back in 10th grade because that's how I would have wrote the answer. Exactly like that.
It all comes down to then different candidates showing up and trying to pitch themselves as the choice, and the delegates then have to decide if they're going to stay with who they initially were assigned to or if they're going to switch. And interesting little item happening today. Guess who's campaigning with Kasich today?
Hold on, let me guess.
I know.
I
know.
Bob McAllister.
Yes.
Bob McAllister.
Tapping into that Wonderama fame.
I'm going to go with LeBron James.
No.
I know the real answer.
Okay, good.
Mitt Romney.
Yeah, Romney is...
Why doesn't he fucking go home?
Nobody cares. His fucking plan completely backfired.
He stinks.
He thought he was going to ruin it for Trump.
Can the conservatives realize Mitt Romney fucking stinks? God almighty, carting out that fucking pretty boy. Go home, Mitt.
He thinks he's important. He's going to Ohio and he's campaigning for Kasich.
You had your shot.
Or Kasich. Kasich.
And he sulked for 4 years. He has been sulking and kicking a can. Gee, for 4 years. And then he comes out. Go fuck yourself, Mitt.
A few golly G's in there.
Oh, golly gee. I wanted to be the guy.
I wanted to be the president.
Shut up, Mitt.
Well, he has filed papers with the Federal Election Commission that could let him be on the ballot. So there's a possibility, and Paul Ryan will run the brokered convention. So you've got that connection back to Romney already. So this could get really interesting and ugly.
But I got a few buts, and then we can move on. So the brokered convention, when was the last time that happened, first of all?
Oh, my God, years and years and years ago.
You don't even have a year on that? Was it in our lifetime?
I don't believe in our lifetime it was. No.
Okay. And then the other thing in there. Oh, yeah. So they do a brokered convention, and they basically take the nomination away from Trump technically because he had more delegates, but he didn't have the amount of delegates you need, right?
He does not have the majority.
No, I understand. So he doesn't have the majority, but he actually had the most delegates. So you would think the party would go, well, even though he didn't get the acquired amount, he does have the most, so we should push him forward as our candidate. But they're not going to do that at a broker convention because they don't really like Trump. So then Trump fucks up the whole election and goes, well, go fuck yourself. And then that guarantees the Democrats win the presidency, right? They're in a tough spot.
It could be. It could be. And by the way, I stand corrected. Somebody tweeted me and go, no. 76 was the last GOP brokered convention. So I stand corrected.
How did that play out?
Reagan almost had the shot, and it went to was it Ford?
Yep.
Ford, yeah.
Ford and Dole.
Wait, so Reagan had the most delegates that year?
Well, it was close. Yeah, he had he had under the number needed, but
sure.
They had to broker this out. It was a tight race. Reagan came in and made a big charge, and it went to Ford, and then we all know that Carter ended up winning that one.
Right. Oh, wow, I didn't know that. Thank you to that guy on Twitter.
Yeah, so somebody shouted me out and goes, hey, stunt Google. Check things out.
So Trump has a real problem if he doesn't win Ohio.
Real problem because all those votes on this week, I believe every one of these is a winner-take-all, especially Florida with the 99. So this could be a big mess. And frankly, good for people like me who get to go to the convention and watch it all play out. It could be like a UFC match.
Oh, you're just going to party?
Yes, sure. Why not?
I would like to go, actually.
Well, Philly has the Dems, so you're close enough. The Philly crew.
That's boring.
Oh, I think it's going to be...
Philly has the Dems. Stop it.
Ohio has the reps. I want to be with the reps. That sounds like... Which would be a better party, you think? The Republican convention or the Democratic convention?
The reps or the Dems?
Yeah.
I went to both in 2012, and I had a better time at the GOP, but it's probably because of my leanings. Although the Democrats have some pretty decent parties.
I'd have more fun with the Crips and the Bloods than I would with either one of these groups.
Than the Dems and the Reps?
Yes. I don't know. The Republicans, you know what? I'm going to say the Republican. Because the Republican, like a lot of the women on Fox, who they're gorgeous, and they're not uptight. Like a lot of them are not. I don't know a lot of the liberal women who are on these other shows, so I can't. But the girls I've interacted with on Fox, they're awesome. So it'd be much more fun to be around them, I think, and the people I've interacted with there.
Yeah, compare your Ann Coulters to your Rachel Maddows.
Well, yeah, but Ann and Rachel are just two people. I don't know any of these pundits at MSNBC or whatever.
Yeah.
That's why
I love
the Republican chicks will put out after a few beers before the liberal Democrat. Yeah, at one of those conventions. A few cocktails, absolutely.
And I'll tell you,
would a hooker rather go to the Republican convention? Of course, or the Democratic convention.
Yeah, the money. They used to say the Democratic convention delegates come to town with a clean shirt and a $20 bill, and they leave with both of them. They're not exactly big tippers. The cabbies never seem to like them at previous.
The Democrats?
Yeah.
Well, you know,
a little tighter.
A little tight. All right. Anything else there, Stunt Brain?
Nah, tomorrow will be interesting. We'll see what happens. I think you guys nailed it on Sanders. The guy from Milwaukee was spot on talking about the economics because Sanders got $10 trillion added to the debt we already have if his plan goes through. But I don't hear plans from Trump, as Jimmy was saying. How about giving us some specifics? We need to see hard facts on this stuff.
Where you at? You lean that way, but are you voting for Trump, or have you committed to voting for Trump yet?
No, I haven't. As a matter of fact, I'm headed over to Trump Tower. There's supposed to be an organized protest outside today, so it could be interesting.
Oh, well.
If anything happens, I'll call you.
Yeah, that'd be great. All right, Stump Brain. Thank you, buddy.
Thank you, guys.
All right, there he goes. Mike. Good old Stump Brain on the Twitter. Helps us out.
Got the Dems.
He fills out the blanks. The Dems in Philly. Got to go check out the Dems in Philly. What do you got there, Jimmy?
I'm just so sick of the whole fucking this winner take all state, and it's just such a shitty.
Is it a caucus? Is it a primary?
People who vote.
Are they sharing the delegates? Is it a winner take all?
A super delegate?
Just have to vote.
Oh, is it a super delegate?
8th and get it over with.
What the hell's a super delegate?
No,
I don't either. I would get that question wrong on a fucking quiz.
Yeah, absolutely.
A super delegate. I know this shit as far as broad strokes go. But what's the difference between a delegate and a super delegate?
I don't know.
Don't call. Don't tweet. I don't care. Please, I don't want to know. All right, Florentine in studio. Killing it. Where are you going to be, Jim?
I got a new special coming out April 1st. I'm Your Savior. It's a one-man show I did. You can pre-order now at mycomedystore.com. Will be up on iTunes and my website.
Great.
$5 digital download. Put in promo code Florentine. All my info's on JimFlorentine.com.
Perfect.
It's coming out a DVD version, too. And then April 1st and 2nd, Bananas in Hasbrook Heights, New Jersey.
Oh, it's Bananas time already. Great. All right. And I think Jimmy's taking the week off, right? No shows this weekend.
Yeah, I got a bunch of stuff that I'm doing in New York. So the 25th, I'll be in Portland, Oregon. The 26th, I'll be in Denver. And then the 1st, oh, my God, we're coming up also the week after Philly, Delaware, and
Connecticut.
Is it Connecticut again? I don't remember.
Ridgefield, Connecticut, the Ridgefield Playhouse, April 7th.
That's a great gig, that one.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. You got the thing. Yeah, the 1st, Wilmington, Delaware. The 31st is, well, no, that's the weekend. Portland, Denver, and the following week is Philadelphia, Wilmington.
Okay, it's all on JimNorton.com, making it all easy for you. We got a penis guy here next.
You bet. You've been talking to him all morning. I'm grabbing my cocks. I say that, by the way.
Dr. James Elist, looks like. What is he? He makes penises bigger?
Here's the bionic penis.
Yeah, that we
were talking about
that we looked at last week. Okay, yeah. We're going to talk to him. And then we got the nicest man in the world.
I'm already here.
Today. I think you lost out to Henry Winkler.
Henry Winkler, yeah, I'm happy he's come back. He has a new book. He does this thing, Hank, what's the guy's name? Hank something, the character's name.
Hank Zipsar?
Zipsar, yeah, I think for young teenagers. Tremendously successful. And
it's for tweens.
For tweens, yeah. And it's called Here's Hank. You can't drink a meatball through a straw.
It's for twinks?
It's for... good old Henry Winkler is finally coming back to the show.
Have you met him, Jim?
No, I never met him.
He's the nicest guy in history.
I can't wait to meet him.
You're going to feel really horrible about yourself.
Really?
Yes.
You know what he is?
So nice.
He's a lovely man.
Let's get him to motherfuck Trump. I would assume he's not a fan of Trump.
Maybe not, but he's too nice a man. He'll probably go, I don't know, guy. You know, like this guy just seems to want to do a lot of things. I don't know.
All right, let's ask him.
I know. I think that he and I will have a conversation.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Why?
It just clicked in my head.
That we just get along.
You and Kirk and Henry are exactly the same person.
Yes, we are.
Please do that. Please do that.
Just want to share stories. You tell me about your town, I'll tell you about mine. You don't like that?
I hate it.
Do you don't like when I share stories?
Sounds like a bad idea. We should just go to break.
What? No, I think we should explore this a little bit. And me and Florentine, we got to get him to try to motherfuck Trump. That's my goal today.
Absolutely.
It's going to be almost impossible because he really is just a super guy. Yes, I used that word properly for Henry Winkler. He's a super guy. And then a little later, we're going to stay late today because we got a big star coming in, a big one. William H. Macy from Shameless is stopping in today around 10:30. So we'll definitely go late today. Stay there. Peccas. Got a penis doctor coming in.
Not that I need it.
Yeah, I don't fucking need it.
Yeah.
I know Jimmy saw me one time and thinks I need it, but I'll tell you right the fuck now, I was just having a bad day.
No, I didn't. There's nothing wrong with that. You were just holding a small child in front of you, weren't you? Oh.
Hi, Doc.
Good morning.
How are you?
Good morning.
We don't need bigger peckers. I'm just telling you right now.
Speak for yourself. I do. I'm in deep trouble here.
Don't look at us funny.
I bought a wad of cash.
We're here to help others out. We're doing very good in that department. Good morning, sir.
Good morning to you.
How do you say your last name? Dr.
Norton.
James?
Elist.
Elist.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Spell it E-L-I.
We were looking at a video last week of the bionic penis, right? That was you?
Yes, the procedure. Yes.
Yeah. Wow. So you make penises larger, right?
Correct.
Is it larger or they function if they don't work?
No, it has nothing to do with the function. It just goes thicker and longer. This is just for the soft tissue deformity, and it does increase the length and girth of the penis.
What about they do? I know that they go and get shots in other countries. You can have like fat put around your dick, which makes it like fatter.
Lumpy?
Yeah, but that seems like it's a weird, risky thing. Does it get...
Correct. Back in 1992, a group of physicians started to inject fat inside the penis based on the fact that they thought if you inject fat in any part of the body, you can increase the size. They used to inject fat inside the breast, in the butt, in the different part of the body. So they said, why don't we inject fat in the penis? Fat does absorb because it doesn't have vascularity. So after a few months, it starts to form nodule and deformity and deform the whole penis and everything. And unfortunately, one of the physicians, while it was injecting fat inside the penis, inject fat inside the artery, and patient died on the table.
Oh, wow.
So since then, fat has been banned, and actually American Urology Association put it on their website. If the physician and surgeon, board-certified urologists like me, inject fat, they're going to be losing their license.
But you're going to be disbarred.
But in
That's
there,
it.
when you were talking about when they first started with the fat and they were getting the nodules and the bumps and stuff, that would be nice for her.
Yeah,
right?
nice, like a cock ring.
That would be some nice pleasure for her.
But that makes the penis shorter because it forms lumps and bumps. Okay,
Lumps and bumps.
That's right, and deformed. It was.
Oh no!
Did you go to medical school to work on penises, or?
I went through residency just to work on urology, and the advantage of urology is the only subspecialty, only surgery, because I would like to do the surgery. I love surgery.
Do you really? You enjoy it?
Yeah, I do. I do really enjoy it. An operating room is the best time, it's like meditation for me. I really enjoy it.
As you're working on someone's penis, that's like meditation?
No, there are other procedures.
Well, are you asking me or him?
One of them is penis, that's one of them. But there's the only specialty in the medicine that you can work on one patient and the partner takes advantage is urology. When I do infertility and help a man have a sperm for his wife to get pregnant, she comes and say, "Thank you very much. This baby, with you brought it, okay."
That's pretty cool.
And the same thing for impotency. My main specialty is male sexual dysfunction. I do a lot of surgery and treatment for male sexual dysfunction, men who Viagra, Cialis, injection, other treatment does not work.
What are the injections? That thing called Caverjet that they use?
They inject it inside the penis to get the blood flow more and more.
But isn't that bad for you, though? Like, your dick can get stuck like that. They use it in porn a lot. You can get really messed up.
The only problem is that after a while, when you inject and put the needle, you form some scar tissue in that area.
Yeah.
And you make a curvature on your penis. It bends. So the penis is not going to be straight, so actually shorten and bends. So you have to go for the surgery at that point. So one of the major disadvantage of frequent injection is this, and one of them, the major one that we see a lot, when you inject, sometimes you get erection and doesn't go down. You heard the advertisement, Viagra, Cialis, if your penis get erected, and after 4 hours, still you have an erection.
Yeah.
Please call the doctor.
Seek medical attention.
Well, that's very common for a man like
That's
me.
what happens, with these guys. When they inject, sometimes, they inject too much. They get excited.
What do you do to help these guys if the Viagra and Cialis isn't working? That doesn't make sense to me. Like, what do you do that is better than those pills?
You ever hear of Emerson, Lake and Palmer?
Okay. First, we try to find out why this guy is impotent. That's one of the most.
Do you ever look at his wife? A picture of his wife?
Sometimes we call them. On some of the clinical study, we call them. So that's it. When we do when I did clinical,
that's probably what he makes you do. Bring him some pictures of your wife. First.
When I did clinical study to find out about the effect of smoking, I wrote the first article, the effect of smoking and impotency, and it's been published. This is the first article in English literature which was published, and there is a direct relationship between the smoking and impotency. And if you look at the package of cigarette now and says cigarette smoking may cause impotency, it came from my article.
Oh, look at
Back in years ago, Senator Waxman, he
it restricts the blood vessels.
Congress Waxman, that's right. Congress Waxman, approved that one.
That's why it caused a lot of heart attacks too.
That's true.
Smoking.
That's true.
Cancer
bladder. Cancer bladder also is very common with the smoking.
Yeah.
People who smoke, they get cancer bladder. So during that period of time to find out if this guy is smoke or not, sometimes we used to call his wife and says, okay, we asked him to stop smoking to see what happens, because in some cases, stop smoking after a few months and give him some medication to increase the blood flow. That can help to resume the erection back. But sometimes, it's permanent. It doesn't come back.
I see.
That's a good question about Viagra. If Viagra, Cialis doesn't work, we try to find out what happens to the vessels, because erectile dysfunction is a vascular disease, like heart disease. People who have a heart problem, they have erectile problem. And most of the patients who come to me because of erectile problem, I send them to cardiologists, and they find out, they have heart problem. Some of them, God forbid, might get heart attack later, and we find it in advance because of erectile dysfunction.
So you start by looking at the pictures of their wives, then you tell them to stop smoking, then you tell them to see a cardiologist, right? You ever suggest maybe popping a finger in the shitter to get things going?
Sometime, we ask them,
But he'll have a good medical answer for that. Like, he won't go with that ridiculous question, but he'll have a good medical. Well, sometimes the buttocks do come into play.
Yeah. We do the vascular study.
I can't throw this guy off.
No. He's been putting pumps in a dicks for 20 years. There's nothing we're going to ask him that's going to freak him out.
Vascular study.
He knows.
It's very easy. Just we have scientifically, we have the answer. We do vascular study. We find out. Oh, there is another device also you might be interested in. Sometimes, we can put the device around the penis at night, and while they're asleep, men do get erection every 90 minutes while you're asleep. So we can measure and find out if the guy has vascular disease, he has a organic disease.
So you're making sure
diabetes.
the penis actually is working. I heard back in the day you would put stamps.
Stamps. That's
See?
right. That's right.
Wait,
I know my shit.
Hold on, as in a stamp collection?
That's right.
I had one. It was an upside down airplane. I put it on my dick. Oh,
You get a roll of
stamp, but there is a
you get a
special
roll of
device
stamps and
that can
You
put
don't
it
need a
around.
roll.
Yeah.
relax.
You don't need a roll of stamps.
I'm not going up against you. I've heard. He has a legendary piece.
How do you fall asleep with stamps on your penis? That would make me stay awake.
No, you put them on loosely, and then if you get an erection,
not very scientific, but there is a special device, that you can put a small, like string around the penis, and it's connected
you
to
attach
the
it to a bell.
Attach it to the machine.
Oh,
and
a machine.
it shows every 90 minutes you get erection or not.
Oh, wow,
Night, if the guy doesn't have any erection, it shows that he has a severe vascular problem.
Do you have one of those machines laying around? That would just seem like fun to do once.
Yeah.
Just to take a look at
And
it.
if he has
all
an
the
erection,
spikes
that's
during
very
the night.
interesting. If he come to the office and say, "Oh, I don't get an erection," or "I cannot have sexual activity," his wife says, "Oh, yeah, we haven't had sex for a few months," and then he shows that he has erection at night. That comes up.
Here's the problem with
psychological.
So what does the stamps do? What does the stamps do? You put them on your penis.
The stamp, you see it breaks or it doesn't break. You put the stamp around the penis. And if it breaks,
if it pops, that means you had an erection during the night. That was the primitive way.
Is it gay for the next morning to lick the stamp and put it on an envelope? If it was just on someone's penis. Did you do a study on that?
That's up to the partner. No, we didn't.
I don't know how you sleep with stamps on your penis.
It's loose.
I know, but it's like I've tried to sleep. I have sleep apnea.
It's not that, right? It's like that.
You can cut down on your sensitivity from masturbation too. You can cut down on the sensitivity.
That's right. Men who do masturbate, usually they have premature ejaculation later on in their life because it does decrease, their sensation.
If let's just say somebody like myself, let's just say I've spent way too many hours doing that, and as the sensitivity has been cut down a little bit, if you quit like masturbation for a while, does it kind of help you get your sensitivity back?
It comes back. That's right. It comes back.
Oh, God, thank God.
There's not a permanent damage.
My dick is punch struck.
No, there's no permanent damage, in that
it's not?
No, there's no permanent.
Okay.
It does just psychologically, decrease the sensation. Anything that you do, which is a little bit deviation of normal sexual activity, that will decrease the sensation. Actually, this procedure that I perform to increase the size of the penis, in most of the cases, delays the ejaculation. Most of the men who do come to the office after 6 months, a year, and when they resume their sexual activity, one of the important points that they tell us is that I was premature ejaculation, before surgery, and now it takes about 10-15 minutes. So that treats. We don't use it for the treatment. We don't advertise or market for the treatment, but this is some of the consequences that happen after this procedure.
You've seen a lot of penises, huh?
I do.
Have you ever seen one where you went, wow, that's pretty? That's a pretty one.
We never call that one, pretty or non-pretty. Just we look at it. Is it deformed or not deformed?
Did you ever take a picture next to one with your thumb up, smiling?
Take a selfie, like, wow, this is a pretty
we
one.
took a picture before the surgery, and we took all of them before surgery.
I'm not assuming a lot about you. I'm just saying where you go, wow, that's a pretty one. I got to acknowledge that in my own head.
He has it down to deformed or not deformed.
Deformed. That's it. That's it. That's the way. You look at that. When you were in medicine, you don't look at those things. So like gynecologists or.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, doctor.
Sure.
When you're inserting because it's a pump that it kind of it's like one of the testicles, right? Like that's where the pump is. It replaces the testicle.
For the treatment of erectile dysfunction.
Oh, that's not the one that makes it bigger?
No, he has.
Oh,
the one that makes it bigger.
I'm still interested now.
The soft silicone. No. This is the soft silicone.
Were you here? Maybe you might have left.
No, I was here.
You saw this. Okay,
but I thought it was a pump that goes. See the little.
Oh, that's right. Oh, that's. It is very interesting. Why we put this animation? Because group of patients that they receive the pump. Let's say we put the pump for erectile dysfunction. There's a guy 50, 55 years old, diabetic, and has severe vascular problems. He cannot have erection. Viagra, Cialis doesn't work. Injection doesn't work. Pump doesn't work. Nothing
Finger in
works.
the butt doesn't
so
work.
we go with the surgery, and with the surgery we put 2 cylinders inside the penis, and there's a pump inside the scrotum. And when you squeeze the pump, the fluid goes to the cylinders and give him erection. He can have erection as long as he wants, and then when he squeezes the pump, it goes reverse. So this pump, is working both ways.
Why does the pump have to be in the balls? Because I would assume you
That's
squeezing
the
your own
easiest
balls.
way.
But squeezing your own balls would be a little.
No, it's not the ball. No, it's just between the testicles under the skin. Because
so you got to be careful what you're squeezing.
That you have. Right. You can have something. You can put it any other. There's no.
Oh, you don't take a testicle out.
No. Oh,
all right.
The testicles are there. Just it becomes in front of the testicle.
So you can go right afterwards. You have an orgasm. 2 seconds later, you can do it again if you don't.
You can do it as often as you want. You can hold it as long as you want. It doesn't go down until you push the bottom, and then it goes.
But is there a cutoff point? There has to be, because like most men, we would tend to just give it that one extra. Like you can only go so far before you
pump it. As long as it's pumped, it's erect. So you can have it. On and on.
Can you
and on
get
and
it
on.
looking really turgid?
That's right. And then you push the bottom, and then it goes down, and then you can pump it again in half an hour, 10 minutes, as long as you want. So
but for this, with all of this,
right. That after this procedure, one of the problem after this procedure happens, because I used to do I do a lot of procedure like this, and patients were coming back and said, "Doc, I have very good erection. I'm very happy with my erection, but my penis is narrower." Because when you put this pump, the tissue around it collapses and makes the penis narrow. So I was thinking about another procedure to make the penis going back to the normal. So I came with the idea of the second implant. That's what you see. And this is the design that I made to sit on the top of the other implant.
It looks almost like something you'd put on your like the front of a shin splint or something.
Like you're doing batting practice.
Yeah, exactly.
You put that guard on.
It's a soft
thin
silicone.
guard for your penis.
It's very soft silicone.
Yeah.
Shape of the penis 270 degrees. It goes under the skin and will be sutured around the glands in that area. So when the patient pumps it, it comes forward, and when the patient just sitting, is there.
So you need a pump for it?
No. Oh. We can do it in other patients also. There are some other patients that they have psychological problem or penile dysmorphia or penile deformity and don't have pump. They're young patients. There's a 35-year-old man who has, unfortunately, deformed penis or short penis or a small penis syndrome, or patients who have psychologically they are really disturbed with the size of their penis, or they have penile dysmorphic disease. They think that the size of their penis is not normal, and they have very, very low self-confidence. So we put that implant also for those group of patients.
But doesn't it make it just bigger, soft? Like, is it hard for it to shrink up to normal? Because I like when mine is done, it's really of no consequence.
It does increase on the flaccid and on erect. When patients has flaccid, it's not going to shrink anymore. It doesn't go back, okay? But because it's flexible and it sits down, so the penis is longer and thicker on flaccid. When it gets erection, it's going to expand, so it's get bigger on.
But that stops it from shrinking really small when it goes flaccid too.
No, that's right. It doesn't shrink. We don't want to shrink. So because if it shrinks, it goes back, to the side.
So
How long doesn't want it?
It turns it into a shower.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's right. Exactly.
How long does it take to pump it up?
This one is not pump. This one.
Well, the other one that
the other
4 hours.
It takes no. It takes 20 seconds, 30 seconds.
Jimmy, how many times a day would you pump it up if you had
do
the
7-8 pumps, and it gets erection.
It would be nonstop.
That's it.
How do you tell the girl though? That's the awkward thing. Like, do you have to do it at a time when she's not looking, because you don't want her to see you do it?
Well, usually men do go to the bathroom, before they come to the bed. They pump it. They have erection. They come with erection, so they don't talk about it.
What about the micro penis? Is there any help for those guys yet?
Micro penis,
fisheye lens for the woman.
That's one of the one of the great advantage of this procedure.
But they don't have enough skin to get your implant in.
They do have the skin, and we take some of the skin, coming from the lower part of the abdomen, and we stretch that one.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Do you cut the ligament? There's a ligament.
That's excellent question.
Why am I explaining to him that there's a ligament? He knows that.
I heard. Very good question.
Thank you.
After his Cialis, that was the best.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
I'm the ligament kid.
Okay. Ligament, if you cut the ligament, the penis has tendency, to go back and forms a scar tissue. Anytime you cut something, the body forms a scar tissue in that area. So I do not cut the ligament. I stretch the ligament. When I put this implant, the implant starts to stretch the ligament, so make the penis longer and longer. So it's better not to cut the ligament, just to stretch the ligament.
There's a video.
There are many articles actually. There's a group of physicians, in London. They used to cut the ligament, and all of them end up the patients, just cutting the ligament.
Ouch.
Separately, shorter.
There's a video we'll tweet out of the actual procedure, but you make a little incision right in the pubic area, right above the penis, and then you slide.
That's right. You should not make any
in.
incision on the penis or close to the penis.
Right above it.
It retracts the penis.
Right.
So we make the incision in the pubic area. That's right.
Probably right in the middle of the pubic area for the people at home.
2 inches?
2 inches. Yeah. And through that one, I go and bring the penis out, put the implant in, suture the implant, and then put it back again.
So you don't cut the penis at all?
No, not at all.
Is it permanent, or you got to go back after a few years and get it redone?
There is no need to do anything else, unless some of the patients, that they get large or extra large. At some point, if their skin expand after 2 or 3 years, they might come back and they would like to change it from extra large to double X large, or from large to extra.
I'd want to start double XL to really punish people.
Everybody would like to start that one, but there is a limitation. You need very, very good, large, relaxed skin to go with double X. So usually we go with X or extra large, and we give the patient chance, say, okay, just wait about a year or two. Definitely your skin start to expand. Our body is expandable, okay? It's very important, because some men do ask me, the same question. If I have a very tight skin, what happens? And I tell them, if you look at these models, that they don't have any body fat, and when they get pregnant, what happens? Usually skin. Our body and our skin is expandable. When we get fat, our skin expands. When a woman gets pregnant, the skin expands. So our body is expandable. If you put something under the skin, it expands your skin.
Okay.
And it stretches your skin.
That's pretty fascinating. If you have a question for the doc about your penis, you got to give us a call. Got an expert in the studio, Dr. James Elist.
I'm curious, what pill is the best for, if you can't get an erection? Viagra, Cialis, is there another one out there?
Flintstone's chewable?
That's right. There are 3, 4 kind of pills in the market, and each of them, they have their own advantage and disadvantage. Viagra, usually we use it, for about 8 hours. It lasts about 8 hours. If you take Viagra, it's going to last until tomorrow morning. With Cialis, usually lasts longer, between
48
24
hours,
to 36 hours.
It's amazing.
It stays in your body. So anytime you get excited, it doesn't mean, most men think, if they take Cialis, they have erection for 36 hours. No, that's not true. If you get excited, you get erection within the next 36 hours. There's a Staxin that you put it under your tongue. You use that one,
What's that called?
What is it?
Staxin.
Staxin?
A Staxin.
And now, is that stronger? Because I've tried Cialis, Levitra,
Staxin is
Viagra.
the same as Levitra.
Now, does that work better than Cialis and Viagra, or no?
It's 18 hours.
It's 18 hours.
It's a little bit between Viagra and between Cialis is a Staxin and Levitra.
Is Cialis stronger than Viagra, or it just works differently?
Cialis is as strong as Viagra, but it takes longer to act.
It does.
So if you take it now, it takes at least 4 or 5 hours.
Get a time delay.
That's right. Often time release. That's right.
Doc, if you don't want to take the pills, can you do it naturally? Because I was reading over the weekend, actually, you can make your own homemade Viagra. And I think it had some. I got bored with the article, but something with watermelon juice and lemon. And supposedly
that's right, but you
supposedly you boil it down though. You start with a lot and you boil it way down to nothing, and then
that's right. You have to eat, at least 10 watermelon, to get that kind of effect.
10 full watermelons.
That's right.
That's why they said you start with a whole pot of it and you boil it all the way down, so now you don't have to eat the 10.
There are many natural.
Does that actually work though?
There are many natural products, that does increase. You can take L-arginine, is one of those amino acids, you can buy it from anywhere, any store. L-arginine, L-citrulline, you can buy this product also. Anything which does increase the blood flow of your penis also.
Uhembi bark?
Uhembin, that's right. Uhembin is not available at the present time, but I use.
How come it's not available?
Unfortunately, I think, one of the companies, they bought it, and they orphaned it.
But you used to use it for yourself or for your patients?
For my patients, I used to use a lot of Yohambin, I do believe, And vasodilan is the product that I did study, and it's in my article for cigarette smoking. We use a product with the name of vasodilan, which does increase the vascularity and the blood flow to the penis.
Vasodilan.
Vasodilan. It's
We got a guy that's had 3.
Dylan.
We've had a guy that has put your headphones on.
Put your headphones on.
A lot of phone calls about the penis.
Yeah, people, we all joke about the penis, but for Pete's sake, we'd all like to know how to make it bigger. Caller.
Let's say hi to Mike in Jersey. Mike, good morning, sir.
Hey, Hope.
Hey.
Hey, Jim.
Hey, buddy.
Thank you. I was 28 years old. I fractured my penis, and I've had 3 pumps and 1 semi-rigid. My scar tissue keeps on breaking all the implants. So just seeing what the doctor thinks.
Okay. Very good question regarding penile fracture. This is something, that most of the people, they don't talk about that.
Can you actually break your penis?
That's right.
Yeah. Our friend did.
When you have an erection.
Our buddy Chuck broke his penis.
Broke his penis.
That's right. When you have an erection.
When you have a very large girl on top of you, it's...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
You know that.
That's right. Okay. With the penile fracture, the first thing that you have to do right away, if you can do the surgery and close the opening of the fracture, most of the time you can save the potency. Otherwise, one of the major problems that we see after penile fracture is impotency. Most of these men, unfortunately, become impotent, and then they need one of those pumps that we were talking about, 3-piece pumps, that you put it inside the cylinders, put it inside the penis, and then you have a pump inside the scrotum, and you can use that one. But with the scar tissue in that area, most of the time it might shrink the size of the penis and decrease the length and girth of the penis. That's where my implant, one that I patented, comes in. We can put that implant under the penile skin, and that will expand and extend in both direction in girth and length the size of the penis, and it prevents any kind of scar tissue. All those scar tissues must be removed, and the implant must be inserted.
So it sounds like this guy's a perfect candidate for your procedure.
It's very good.
How does he get a hold of you if he wants to go down that road?
Just go to the website drelist.com, and that's
How do you spell your last name?
ELIST.
DRELIST.com. Dr. Elist. All right. Mike, did that help you out a little bit?
Yeah. Appreciate it.
Good luck, man.
All right, buddy.
And the worst position to break a penis is like a girl on top, and she's jumping up and down, and all of a sudden
Or moving back and forth.
Moving back and forth.
Back and forth, that's right.
That's why I masturbate compulsively. It's just safer. Safety is the key word here.
Oh, we can break it during masturbation also.
Can you really?
Oh, come on.
It happened all
How does that happen?
That's nuts now.
Yeah, you really got to be
Angry at
going
yourself.
for something.
Yeah, that's right. Because sometimes we get erection, and any kind of situation, can break the.
All right, let's say hi to
pecker.
Let's say hi to Jake in Nevada. Jake. Jake?
Yeah, hi.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, Jake.
Hey, imagine my surprise. I'm in ninth grade biology class, and they start showing us videos. They separate the guys from the girls, and they show us the videos of what an erect penis is supposed to look like. And, of course, I've never compared my penis to anybody else's, but mine didn't look like one in the video where it shoots straight out. Mine makes more of a C shape where it points down towards the ground. And
it's sad.
Yeah. I mean, it gets nice and hard, and I've heard a couple of girlfriends tell me that it actually, if I do them doggy style, it stimulates their G-spot. But
how if it points down? Oh, right. Doggy style. Okay.
Doggy style.
Yeah, do them doggy style. It turns upside down, and it rubs their G-spot.
Oh.
But, missionary...
Were you just moaning, Doc?
I know.
No, the Doc has a comment.
No, what it says, C shape.
Does that make sense?
That's right.
I heard
some patients, they have a curvature. That's right.
Yeah.
There is another, we wrote another article on a group of patients that they have a penile curvature, okay? And this is congenital curvature, means that their penis, is curved downward or lateral. And there are two different kind of situations. One of them, patients have plaque on their penis, which is like a calcium deposit on the artery of the penis, so it make their penis curved.
How do you get rid of that?
How does that happen?
We don't know, honestly, we don't know. They call it Peyronie's disease. We don't know why does it happen, okay? And this is kind of like autoimmune disease, like any other disease, that deposit calcium in different part. And deposit calcium in the arteries of the penis, we think maybe has to do something with trauma, masturbation, or any kind of situation that breaks the tissue and start oozing and bleeding in that area and forms the scar tissue, and that scar tissue end up to form calcium, because when we remove it, it's really hard, like bone in that area. The treatment of Peyronie's disease is one of the challenges for the physician, because there is no specific medication for that. It used to be some medication that we used to like Potaba, one of the famous medication we used for it. At the present time, there is an injection that you can inject directly inside the calcium deposit and try to dissolve it. It works in some cases. And if it doesn't work and patient become impotent, because sometimes this calcium penetrates inside the artery and close the artery also.
Oh, boy.
Wow. Young guy, you see, 35, 40 years old, and he has a curved penis, and he cannot have any erection. It's very painful erection. Then we put the penile prosthesis for them. One of those inflatable penile prostheses can help these people just to put it there and ask them to pump it every day and start, to expand and get erection and stretch it.
So there's help for Jake out there in Nevada, Jake.
Oh, that's good news. I hope it's affordable.
Yeah, does Obamacare cover this?
Actually, it's very interesting. Medicare covers that.
Really?
Yeah. Medicare covers because they consider that one as one of the medical situation. So it covers, most of the insurance covers that.
Nice.
That's right.
Thank you, Jake.
All right, good news.
There are a group of people also.
Even when a guy with a small penis will cover, you have to take a picture and send it to the health insurance company. And he's packing 4. He can get away with that.
Some of the micro penises, you have to do that.
You have to send it off. Go, look, this guy definitely needs surgery. And then make a decision on it.
That's correct.
To your adjuster. Oh, brother. Oh, my God.
That's sent around the office. I don't know. What do you think? Should we pay for this? He can get away with it. Doesn't know how to eat box. He can make up the time.
Let's go to Tommy in Brooklyn. Tommy.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome aboard, Tom.
Doctor, I was just wondering, with the pump that goes in front of your nuts, if you got kicked in the balls, would you get a hard-on?
That's a good question.
With the pump?
Yeah, what if someone kicked the pump as they're trying to kick you in the balls?
No.
Because that'd be just one pump.
The pump, no. The pump, is not something, just you kick it, and get hard on. The pump, you have to squeeze it, and there's a special location is behind the testicle.
Is it by the vas deferens?
It's behind the testicles in the lower dependent portion of the scrotum. So it's somewhere in the back. And usually the patient knows where is the location. We give him some samples of the pump so he can practice on that one. And then the location, we show it to him after surgery so he goes and find it. And you have to pump. You have to squeeze a special area of the pump.
So do you tell him, if he doesn't know exactly where it is, because your testicles, do you tell him, whenever you feel a lump, just squeeze it, and whichever one doesn't make you pass out?
No, the shape is a little bit different, from the testicle.
It's like a square.
It's smaller. No, it's much smaller, and it's round. It's smaller. It's sitting, in the back of the testicle.
Okay.
And then you find it and just start to squeeze it. And then you have to squeeze it the first time hard, and then gradually it gets softer and softer. Some patients, they squeeze it in 10 seconds. They come to the office and say, okay, let me see how is everything. In 10 seconds, they can squeeze.
Do you put a glove on before? You touch it or no?
Usually.
Or you go bareback?
Usually we would like, to see,
Are you turning red, Doc?
I know. I'm just saying, do you put a glove on? Like when a guy comes in, you're like, let me put a glove on to touch it, or you just go, whatever?
No, definitely. Everything is with gloves.
And I'm sure you're making these guys pump it up in front of you to make sure they're doing it properly, right?
Yes.
Wow, that's so weird.
Yes. Yes.
That's a weird.
You ever look them in the eye as you're telling them?
Yes.
As you're telling them, you pump it right here?
No. Usually they know there's a sample outside. Just I show them the sample, and usually they find, the pump. and they start to know based on whatever they see outside, they start to pump it.
That's a good test if it works, though, because if you can pump it and it gets erect while you're talking to your doctor.
I know.
Like
Well,
if you just look at him right in the eye, who's your doctor? Who's your doctor?
This erection has nothing to do with their feeling or anything, because when they pump it, the blood
It goes.
It goes. That's it.
Where are you at with like tickling of the balls?
You have to be very
First of all, Doc, is that your daughter that's with you here?
Or is that?
Yeah, that's her.
Sorry.
Oh my God, really?
Does it feel weird that you're talking?
I've had to look her in the eye the whole time. She's in my eyesight. I'm like,
does it feel weird for your dad to be talking about penises in front of you?
It's a common topic of our dinner conversation.
It's a common dinner topic.
She's been laughing the whole time.
That's right.
She's been laughing at it.
Oh, I thought it was like a publicist. Oh no,
That's right.
It's your daughter.
Publicist. That's right.
What a weird family. You bring her around to talk about penises.
Do you ever, like, if you have a boyfriend or a husband or something like that, I think he might have an erection problem, do you bring that up at the table? Can you look at his penis? Wouldn't that be weird, your dad looking at your boyfriend's penis? Like, no, it's fine. I'm sure that should take care of you. How many inches you need?
Hasn't been an issue.
Oh, but Dad doesn't want to hear that. He's a dad after all. He doesn't want to hear that it's never been an issue.
Would that be weird if your daughter came and you said, Dad, I really like this guy, but he's got a small penis. Can you make it bigger? Would you be like, I don't know if I want to do that? I don't know if I want him to go from 4 to 8.
It'd be a wonderful wedding present, though.
It depends.
Like, would you do the operation?
That's real love.
Yeah, that is.
Daughter.
It depends, if the guy wants to have the operation, that's very important.
But in that house,
it's not your partner, just you must need.
But
that
if your
operation,
daughter comes to you and says, "Look, I want my boyfriend's penis to be bigger. Can you help him out?" Would you feel weird doing that?
No.
Would you give him the extra large? Or
No. I give him exactly the same size, that he needs, not extra large or not large, anything that. If he needs it, definitely we have to do it. Okay, so that's very important.
His daughter's like, please just wrap it up.
Wrap it up?
No, she's saying.
We got Bill Burr on the line, too. He's been trying to call in. And
what's up, Bill?
Hey, Bill.
Hello.
Hey, what's up, Bill?
What's going on, everybody?
We're finishing up with the penis doctor, Dr. James Elist. He makes guys' penises longer and fatter.
Yes. He's what we call a saint.
What sort of materials do you use? Do you use a cadaver dick, or is it like Bondo?
It's like how did you explain it earlier? It's like what you would wear when you go to batting practice on your
No, it's the same stuff they make a fluorescent light bulb out of.
Yeah, it's a soft silicone,
Soft silicone.
Soft silicone that you put it under the penile skin, and that will increase the girth and length of the penis. That's it.
And he also puts pumps in this guy.
All right, wait a minute. I get how that would increase the girth. How does that increase the length?
Oh, that's a very good question.
Oh, fuck.
Thank you.
That's excellent question.
We've been talking to him for a half hour. We couldn't even think of that one.
That's right. That's
but I know he already answered it.
Did he?
Yes.
Oh.
The weight of the implant and gravity and the stretching, because it's going to stretch your penis while you put the implant. At the first, I stretch the penis, and then the implant while it's sitting there.
How do you go about doing that?
Is the
like
stretch?
A pasta roller?
No. There is no need to do anything. There is no need to do anything. Just you wait, and you will see that your penis is getting longer and longer and getting thicker and thicker because it forms
now,
a tissue.
Is the patient awake when this whole thing's going on?
No. He's under anesthesia. He's under twilight anesthesia. It takes about 45 minutes. You're under anesthesia. We do the surgery. After the surgery, next day, you will see that the girth and length of your penis on flaccid is increased. The girth on your erection is increased instantly
what's
also.
Your record for the biggest difference between before the operation or after? Did anybody ever come in with like a 2-incher and comes out with 8?
That's too big, no. But usually it adds between 1.5 to 2.5 up to 3 inches to the girth and length of the penis after the procedure. If somebody is 3 inches, after surgery, going to be 5. If somebody is 4, it's going to be 6 and 6.5.
And you can't tell someone had this procedure done?
After a while, after a few months, it forms a very nice soft tissue around it, and it's not visible.
How long are you sore for? Sorry to interrupt you. How long are you sore for?
How long for what?
Is it sore?
Pain is mild to moderate after this procedure. The first few weeks when the patient get erection, because it stretches their penis, is a little bit painful. But after that,
what's the
it's going to
difference
go
between
away.
mild and moderate? Like how big a pussy your patient is?
No, usually you take, the Tylenol or Advil or...
joke here. Are you making me feel bad? I'm just joking around here.
Yeah, but with the penis, we all actually want the information. So your joke is a good joke and a great question at the same time. It's legit. How big can it get?
The penis, we have at the present time, somebody went from 5 to 7, from 4.5 to 7.5.
Oh, wow.
In girth and length.
Nice.
That's a large.
When is a penis?
And there's an extra large.
Do you take Cigna insurance?
Not for this one.
When is the
This
penis?
procedure is not covered by insurance.
When is the penis too big, sir? And is there a procedure for that?
There's no procedure.
Yeah, you give her a fucking Valium or something to help her relax.
There's no procedure.
And an ice pack.
There's no procedure for.
No procedure,
to
knock down the girth if it's too much.
No.
Doctor, you're doing God's work.
Have you ever had a patient wake up during the procedure?
No. Why? Why he has to wake up during the procedure?
Well, because you're working on his penis, I would think that would be...
We have anesthesiologists sitting there and watching the patient all the time.
We've heard the stories over the years where every once in a while you get somebody that wakes up, right?
Unfortunately, because sometimes I don't know, they use local anesthesia or they use sedation for these patients, and usually they wake up, In all our procedure, we have a board-certified anesthesiologist sitting with the patient all the time, giving him medication and watching his vital signs and taking care of the patient. I never ever had, I've done thousands of surgeries, so
how many penises have you worked on?
With this procedure and the inflatable penile prosthesis, there are more than 5,000 patients.
You've done 5,000 penises.
Do you have before and after, like scrapbook of pictures?
All of them. It's on our website, and we have a book. By the way, I have a book.
You should put that as a coffee book.
A matter of size.
Like a coffee table book. You should put
Amazon,
that out.
No, that's right.
Go ahead, Bill. Sorry.
In the before and after picture, can you see the guy's face? They always have the sad look when they're overweight, and then they're all happy. You do that with the penis one, too?
Yeah, is he really pale, and then before picture, and then he's tan with a big cock, and then in the after picture?
He's ripped.
Like
yeah. He's got six-pack abs all of a sudden now, too.
You see the pictures, look very natural.
Wait, he's got some on his...
That's right.
Are these your pictures from your website?
Not him,
but
the
website.
No, I know it's not you, but I mean, these are your...
That's right. These are the
penises you worked on.
Before and after. You see, this guy, at least gained about 2.5 inches, in his flaccid.
That first picture just makes me sad.
This one, look at this guy, the thickness, some patients,
God,
want
you really
more
like
thickness.
making them thick.
Some of them want thickness, some of them more length, so we can adjust, the implant accordingly.
Yeah.
Based on that one. This guy, gained at least.
I got a question for you. When someone comes in, remember that guy who was dancing at that concert all naked? He had like that acorn dick, It was just pubic hair and a little helmet. Like, where would you even inject it?
With an injection?
No, he's saying
if he had like a half an inch.
A tiny penis.
Okay.
He said the micro penises that he can use
that's
some.
right. We can use some of the skin, So with micro penis also we can extend the skin from the lower part of the abdomen, and we can get the skin. So there's no problem with that part. We have different sizes of implant. We can use smaller implant for some of the people. That they have really much.
Yeah,
there's no to inject.
Doc, I want to help. I want to help your business a little bit. The before and after pictures, you got to have them clean up their pubic hair for the pictures.
They're a little messy.
No, these are before, so it shows that really it's before.
Yeah.
So because if you do that, then they think we did it in the operating room, and after we would like to show that it takes at least 3 to 6 months to come to that stage. That was the psychological reason. If you show both of them shaved in that area, you took this picture in operating room. So
what's the smallest penis you've worked on?
About 1.5 inches.
1.5 inches? Oof.
Do you smile when the guy comes in and you look at it? You got a grin.
Never.
You gotta grit your
Never.
teeth.
Never.
Soon as-
Never.
You could have a poker face.
Exactly. Very good. That's very good.
As soon as the guy's out, you know they're all
But
fucking
this guy has been insulted already. The guy who comes there, unfortunately.
You guys, come on, you're just like anyone else in their profession. As soon as the guy's knocked out, you guys will
He's
look at each
been
other
insulted already, so it needs passion, so he shouldn't do anything. He should not say anything, okay? Because some of these guys, honestly, they have a very, very bad psychological
Very suicidal, some of them
That's
probably.
right.
Yeah,
That's right.
I'd
We had that
imagine.
one in GQ magazine.
I would be.
there
Mine
was a
wasn't
guy-
giant.
No, there was a guy, that really was going to kill himself. And we asked the psychologist and the psychiatric evaluation on him before they sent him. Some of them, we do get a psychological evaluation in some of our patients before we do the surgery because, you really, they want to do the surgery badly because of their psychological situation. Their self-esteem is almost zero.
Let me get Bill on again. Yeah, go ahead, Bill.
So that guy who had, you said 1.5 inches, when you were done with him, when you put the magic stuff in his thing there, what did he walk away with?
He's 3, but definitely within a year and a half, he's going to be 3.5 or maybe 4. But at the present time, it'll be almost double.
Wow, that's still a low number.
It is. That's right.
Could he come back?
But he cannot come
Could
back.
he come back in a couple of years when it's at 3 and then get it to 4.5 or 5?
If he gets this,
That's still minor league ball.
It's going to stretch. Yes.
He's not ready for the majors with a 3.
That's
though.
right.
No,
that's right. But it's great, if you're somebody on flaccid, go to that number.
Yeah.
Can you imagine psychologically what kind of effect it had?
What were we going to say,
his
Bill?
Self-esteem. And his self-esteem is very important.
Yeah, go ahead, Bill.
I'm going to say he went from a smart car to a Prius.
That's
He's
life.
just so, the poor bastard. He's always going to get a rough time about it.
Bill, life is not fair. So that's it.
Yeah,
So that's it. This guy from 1.5 to 3 got double. So he should appreciate that.
He's here with his daughter, by the way. It's really strange. They're very open about sexuality in their household.
Well, let me ask you this: as far as like a just animalistic thing here, aren't you kind of like playing God there in a way? Because when a guy's got like 1.5, isn't like that's like God kind of threw in the towel halfway through, going, all right, this guy's going to be a mess. I don't want him to reproduce. So I'm just going to give him a 1.5. No female's going to bang him, and then he's out of the mix.
But you're right. But God gave me the talent to do that. If he didn't want it, he didn't give me the talent.
You sure
just
that's
to
not
do
coming
that,
from the devil, though?
This is God. This comes from God directly. I know that.
Really?
Okay, this
I
comes
think
directly from the highest. It comes from the highest authority.
Yeah, what's more likely to get a guy into church, having a 1-inch dick or a 3-inch dick? I say if you go from 1 to 3, you're going to be very grateful and happy and a better citizen. I didn't mean to ruin the entire show by saying that. I spoiled everything. I've never had such a negative effect.
Well,
that's a great question. Do the patients come in humble and then all of a sudden they leave with a little bit of a swagger and they're kind of like a dick? No pun intended.
It depends, why they want to do this procedure. Okay, if the guy has severe psychological problem, if the guy has low self-confidence, after the procedure, they really have a smile on their face. They're very happy. We've seen patients, that really changed their life. We have people who know that they didn't want to get married after this procedure. They got married, and they have very, very happy life. That's
All right,
it.
I got one last question for you.
Sure.
Have you ever had somebody come in with an 8 or a 9-inch one and just say, Doc, I just always wanted to be double digits. Can I have this? Can you get me up to a 10?
We don't do the procedure on that one. Unless, there is a specific reason. No. We say no.
Why?
Why not?
Why not? Because this guy, unless, there is some kind of necessity. That's right. This is some kind of necessity because any procedure, remember, has some possible risk and complication. If the guy, is in the position that he wants to just to do it because of the sake of the procedure, is not necessary. We do this procedure for the people that they really need it, and it can help them in their life. This guy, is really if that level, and he's happy, and just would like, to increase it a little bit more. It's not feasible for this procedure. It's not a good candidate for the procedure.
Hey, how come in a boob job you can go from an A cup to a D cup, but with a dick job you can only go from 1.5 to 3 inches?
Because of the skin. That's a very good question. You know, because of the expansion of the skin.
That's two good ones.
No, that's right. With that part, you know, you have a lot of fat, and you can put it in front of the fat, and you can expand the skin as much as you want. You know, in the penis, you know, you have a limitation. And remember, your penis is not just, you know, to get bigger or whatever you have to do. Your penis, you have to urinate through your penis, and also you have to have sex with your penis also. Okay, so
With the same woman.
vessels, all these vessels and everything should be intact. So I have to be very careful about the nerve, about the artery, about the urethra and everything. I don't want to make it big so a patient cannot urinate after the procedure, or a patient cannot have sexual activity, because remember, the penis gets bigger and smaller even after this procedure because of the blood which gets there. Patient gets erection. If his size is 2.5 inch now, it's going to be 3.5 with erection. So I have to be very careful about the skin. I don't want to explode the skin. Breast does not get bigger or smaller. Breast stays exactly at the same size, you know, that they put it. So that's something I have to consider, and it is very, very important medical knowledge, you know, you should have. And imagine what his size is going to be with the erection, without erection, and based on that, put the size which does really fit. It's not the patient's desire, which says X or double X or whatever he wants. You know, I have to consider all the facts before I put the implant in.
Wow.
Is there such a thing with females? Is there a fetish? Any women out there that actually want a guy with a micro penis? Just some weird fetish thing, you know, some guys are into like crooked toes or something like that. Is there any woman out there who actually, like, a micro penis guy could be like, all right, well, she's kind of into.
I don't know about the study. No, I don't know anything about that study, you know, that they want to know smaller penis or micro penis or something, you know. So maybe there is. I'm not aware of that.
Jim Norton.
Yes, sir.
Have you ever seen any weird porn like that?
No, I haven't. I've never seen any woman who truly craved a small dick
micro
on a guy.
penis?
I think they tolerate it. Like if a guy makes a particularly good living or has a great personality, they'll tolerate his awful little dick. But no, I've never seen a woman or heard of a fetish where they like it. Other than dominatrixes who want to humiliate you, and guys have small dick humiliation fetish.
I'm sure a woman will now call the show and tell us. So
we have to wrap because we have Henry Winkler coming
Henry
in.
Winkler, the Fonz, is outside the studio, Doc.
Is he?
Yeah, he's a little early. So
let's wrap up then.
Yeah, we should wrap up, I think.
He wants to get this procedure in his thumb so we can really go, hey.
This was great, Dr. James.
Thank you very much. By the way, my daughter is the author at LA Times. So she's
you work at
great
LA Times?
writer and...
what does she write about?
A screenwriter, okay. So she writes, you know, in entertainment and other...
What were you entertaining today?
Are you going to write an article about this?
About this.
Yeah.
Yeah, work us into an article for the LA Times.
Her response really gave it away, like, about this.
And she did the circle with her finger.
Yeah, this fucking thing you call an entertaining program? No, obituary, perhaps.
All right, listen, we got to wrap up.
Thank you, Bill.
You guys were a lot of fun. Really enjoyed them.
Thank you.
Really. Thank you very much for inviting, and thank you being part of this.
All right, Bill, if you want to call back, we're going to take a break. I don't know if you were calling in to talk about fucking penises, so if you want to talk more, give us a call back.
Well, you got Henry Winkler, man. I mean, you got the Fonz coming in. I think you guys are good. I was just calling to say hello.
All right, cool. Okay. You were very entertaining. So Bill Burr is...
I had two really good questions.
Yeah.
That's
you did.
it.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, yes. Bill's one of our oldest friends. Bill Burr rules. Thanks, Bill. We'll talk soon, all right, buddy?
Thanks, Bill.
See you, Bill.
I'll see you guys.
All right, and then Dr. James Elist, the website is Dr. Elist, drelist.com.
drelist.com.
drelist.com, and that's the same on Twitter, drelist. And you've worked on 5,000 penises at least.
That's at least.
Let us know if anyone goes for the procedure after hearing you on our show.
Yeah, we'd love to hear that.
We'll let you know.
We would love to know who those guys are.
Maybe I bring one of my patients next time here and talk about that.
And what he'll show us?
Yeah. Why not?
Maybe.
I would like that a lot.
That's right. Maybe.
Yeah.
I have some of the guys, that they come, for testimonial, and they don't mind, just to show and talk about that, in public. Right. So we have very, very limited number, because nobody would like to talk to, but we have very famous people, and some of the people, they don't mind to talk about it publicly because it changed their life.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you very much. Good seeing you again.
Thank you. My pleasure.
The Fonz, Henry Winkler, next. Stay there. And we got Jim Florentine as well. I'm Your Savior. His new special out April 1st. DVD, CD, digital download. Oh, you can do that now. Now available.
Well, no, they can pre-order it right now.
Okay, pre-order.
Promo code Florentine, you get a discount.
And it's JimFlorentine.com. We got the Fonz outside the studio. Henry Winkler.
Yes, the delightful Henry Winkler.
Yes.
He's not here.
Oh, he's not here yet.
Where is he? Oh, what is he doing?
He's on his way.
It'd be funny if he was having like a really nasty argument with somebody.
What's going on with Richard Simmons? We have a minute to talk about this before Henry Winkler enters the studio. I guess people think he's being held in his own house.
He hasn't seen any of his friends in like 2 years. He's pretty much cut off everybody except for his housekeeper or something.
And supposedly the housekeeper is controlling him, according to an article that came out, I think, yesterday.
Yeah, that's just from friends. What I think is he's just old, and he wants to retire, and he's probably put on a lot of weight, and he doesn't want TMZ taking pictures of him when he's going to walk his dog or take his garbage out, so he's just staying in his house. He just wants to live a peaceful life last few years.
Or he's sickly.
Or he's sick.
What do you mean last few years? He's not that old.
No, he's like 70-something.
I don't think he's 70-something.
No?
I think he's only in his 60s.
51.
He's 51.
No.
I think he's in his 60s, though. 67. Okay. He'll be 68 this year.
Where's Henry?
And then there's rumors of voodoo being used by the housekeeper to control him. So I guess he went on the Today Show to say, hey, man, I'm fine. I just want to be left the fuck
But he called
alone.
in. He didn't go in.
Yeah, why would he call if he wants to be left alone? Let everyone else speculate and you just live your life in your house. Here's Henry Winkler. He's coming in. We could go back to the Richard Simmons thing.
He didn't want reporters around his house wondering what's going on, make the story any bigger.
Henry Winkler.
Hello.
It's been too long.
Pleasure. How are you?
How
This
you
is
doing,
Jim.
Nice to meet you.
See you.
Jim Florentine's never met you, sir.
No.
Pleasure to have you back.
Always.
Of course.
We always have a good time.
We certainly do. We were just talking about Richard Simmons. A weird article came out.
Richard Simmons. My wife was his first publicist.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
There's been a lot of speculation because he hasn't gone out of the house or anything.
Yes, I saw him this morning just say, I was not kidnapped.
Yeah.
So I think he was probably...
He just doesn't want to be out in public.
Reconstituting himself.
Now, you just Purelled after shaking hands. I do that once in a while, too. Are you worried about getting sick, or are you a little...
Oh, you just looked at us three and go, I definitely got it.
Did you realize that was the most pertinent move?
One of you. No. I meet so many people, and I shake so many hands, and I have so many stops.
Yeah.
That I am a little germophobic. I wash down my seat on the plane.
Wow.
My wife's area.
Right.
The remote control.
Now, do you think it gets...
I'm sorry.
Okay.
No, what happens if you have to drop a deuce in public? Do you wipe down the toilet? I'm just asking because he said...
It's Henry Winkler. He doesn't talk about his bathroom habits.
Well, he's saying he's wiped down a plane and stuff.
Yes, I do.
Do you make a nest? You have to talk about it in a careful way.
Do you do a courtesy flush? Because then there's more germs in the air. I'm just asking.
You know what I do?
Yes.
If I have to go to the restroom, I hire someone to flush for me.
You know what's funny about bathroom doors? Alan Alda has gotten a little germ thing, he said, because he hurt his hand in an airplane, because airplane bathroom doors are filthy.
Yes, right.
But he was trying to close it like one of those ways where you don't touch it, and he slammed the door on his finger.
But I have those packet Perels that I travel with everywhere, and so door handles. In a hotel room, I re-wash the glasses. You know, because I saw that.
No, that is smart. I've seen those reports.
Holy,
they're not cleaning anything.
No.
Well, about that, do you get sick?
Do you know what? I'm very lucky. I get a flu shot at the beginning of the season, and I don't want to put a Kanahara on it, but I don't get sick often.
Now, has the hand wash, you think, is how we had Howie Mandel, and he does it so much and so much Purell that he killed actually good bacteria and got warts. For you, is it like one of those things that's gotten into an area of okay, now this is a compulsion? Or,
No. I just saw it and I thought, I'm going to use it.
Yeah, nothing.
But usually, if you're shaking a lot of hands, as long as you don't reach for your eyes or your nose or your mouth, you're not going to spread it to yourself.
Yeah, but you know what? When you're in the middle of a conversation, I do book signings. Yesterday, we signed for 2.5 hours.
Wow.
You don't think about, I have an itch.
Right.
So you're shaking and you're hugging, and people are getting close, and they leave you a pie, and... You Perel.
Do you eat the pies? Do you trust people if they leave you food?
This human being I knew, so we tasted the pie because she's very good at it. Most of the time, you do not eat what fans give you.
What kind of pie was it?
It was an apple pie.
Oh, you gotta eat the apple pie.
Gotta eat it.
Every time.
Gotta eat it.
But you don't. You never know who's leaving you something for whatever reason. Although, who couldn't like Henry Winkler?
No, but you never know, because you never know if someone is not putting two and two together, and they're just out there.
Hey, Henry.
Hello.
Can you go a day? Obviously, you're on a book tour, so it's different now. But can you go a day without anyone asking you about the Fonz?
No, I cannot.
Not one day.
Not one day. But here it is. If I did not do the Fonz, or I assume this is true, the Fonz built my house. He sent my kids to school. He introduced me to the world. And this is how loyal the Fonz is. He reads my children's books. That's amazing.
That is amazing.
He's a mechanic and a children's book reader.
But you realize that character would never work on TV today, where you're snapping fingers and girls are coming over, and you're walking out with 3 girls.
People, in real life, you do not snap your fingers. Women will break them. That was a television thing.
Yeah, feminists would get very upset about that in today's...
Anybody. My daughter, when she was 4, she turned to my wife and she said, "Why did you marry him?"
Because of the snapping.
Oh.
Does it work with your wife?
It does not work with my wife. No, I'll tell you what does. Begging works. Begging works. Oh, my God.
You can't pull the Fonz card out in your own home.
Not in your own home, no. Well, actually, I can talk like that to my dog, Charlotte.
Yeah.
How did
she
you
listens?
Now, did you know your wife back then when you were on TV, or was it after you met?
I met my wife, and I came to her house, and she had a 4-year-old son, Jed, who is now my son. He's 44.
Wow.
And I was a candle on his birthday cake. So when now at that time I was an idiot.
Yeah.
So he opened the door. He went, "Fonzie!" And I said, "No, my name is Henry. Would you like it if I called you Ralph?" And I didn't realize to just shut up.
You should have let the kid have his moment. He was 4 years old, Henry.
Absolutely. I'm schooling him at 4.
That's all right. You didn't want to be called Fonzie all the time. You had to lay down the law.
Yeah, but it was...
I like that you embrace it, because there's a lot of people that are known for one big thing to start with, because your career has gone way past that. But then they don't want to acknowledge that they ever were the Fonz or whatever.
Do you know what those people are? I can honestly say they are morons. Because here it is. You have a dream. You want to do it since you're 7 years old. You get to do it. You get to do it on this gigantic scale. And then you say, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I don't associate with that anymore." I think that is nuts.
Yeah, I agree with you.
He was so much fun to play.
Right. We talked about you being dyslexic when you were here one time.
Yes, that's right.
And I'm just reading this for the first time. Maybe we spoke about it. I don't remember.
It's okay.
Your father spoke 11 languages?
He did. My father wanted to be in the foreign service in Germany. He wanted to be a diplomat, but there was no room for Jews in that particular job. When he came here, he brought a lumber business with him. He wanted me to buy and sell wood. And I knew from the very beginning I wanted to be an actor. And only 10 years ago did I think of maybe writing a book, and that was with Lynn Oliver.
Right.
And now this is our 33rd novel. Yes.
33rd you're up there?
33rd.
We've missed a few.
Yeah.
You haven't been here in a couple of years.
That's true. I haven't been on tour.
How many do you write a year then?
We write about 2 a year, sometimes
I guess I could
3.
have done the math, huh?
No. It's all right.
All right.
But this one, we had Hank Zipser when I was here.
Sure.
The world's greatest underachiever, and he's in that was the 4th, 5th, and 6th grade. And then we decided to write the 2nd grade.
Oh.
And these particular novels, they use a font that has never been used in America before. it makes it easier for the young eye who's just beginning to read to track the words across the page.
Well, now, what is the font? Is it like it's a softer font, or it's...
Some of the letters are heavier in the printing. The Y goes longer below the line. The F goes higher above the line. There's bigger spacing between the letters, so it doesn't allow the kid to flip the words when they're reading it.
I sure could use this font.
And this is for second graders?
This is for second graders, first graders, third graders.
Okay.
And it's called Here's Hank. He enters a cooking contest with his cousin, and he decides that you cannot drink a meatball through a straw.
Right.
Which is technically correct.
It's technically correct. And then he realizes how you can do that. Chaos ensues.
You ever think of making this into a TV show?
Well, the older shows are on. We couldn't sell them here in America. Hank Zipser, the world's greatest underachiever, they said, we love the character. He is so funny. Could you make him a little less dyslexic? So we went, no, but it is now in its third season on the BBC. It is the second and third highest rated television show for children on the BBC.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Make him less dyslexic.
Yeah.
Why?
Insane. Why? Because American television believes that the kids are, they want aspirational.
Okay.
And if he is like a little bit defective.
Now, your dad spoke like, do you speak any foreign languages or no?
I understand German because they spoke it in the house. I took French and I know bibliothèque. That's one word, means library. That's basically it.
French is hard. I took 2 years of it. I remember almost. I can count to 20, but real utter nonsense.
Right.
I don't have any grasp on foreign languages.
Right. It's like I took geometry for 4 years, same course. I took it in regular school, summer school, regular school, summer school, regular school. That was in 1963. I passed with a D-. Now today, March 2016, from then to now, not one human being has ever said the word hypotenuse. What the hell were they thinking?
I'm with you. I remember the time thinking, no one's going to use this.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
Wow.
Yes.
Now, how is everybody?
Very good. Yeah. I'm just fascinated that your dad spoke 11 languages. I can't comprehend somebody who thinks that way.
Which language did he dream in?
You know what? It depends
Please say
on
it was
the
a good
dream.
question.
In color, I think it was Spanish.
Not a good question.
If he dreamt in color,
it was Spanish.
It was mostly Spanish.
Yeah.
So was your dad disappointed you didn't go in the lumber business?
My dad was disappointed about everything.
About you?
Yes, he was. He wanted me to not be an actor. He wanted me to take over the family business. And when I speak, I always tell the joke that my father said, "Why do you think I brought the business over here?" I said, "Besides being chased by the Nazis, Dad, is there like a bigger reason than that?"
Was he ever? Maybe it's the wrong word. Proud, but did he?
They were. When I went to the Smithsonian and delivered my jacket, the picture I have, my wife and I are holding the jacket, presenting it to the museum, and behind me are the two short Germans, my parents. But at that time, I didn't need them to be proud when I made it.
Sure.
I needed them to be proud when I was trying to figure it out and I was confused by everything.
Well, when did they finally accept your acting? It had to be before the fonts.
No. When I got on television.
Then they were like, "Oh, okay, this is gonna. It looks like he's got something going on finally, or
that's
a career
right.
or whatever."
Yes.
So was it a little bittersweet at that point?
It was. But I made a deal with myself, and I've said this before. With my children, they could say anything to me, and I would listen and respect what they were saying. I didn't always agree. Sometimes I would say, just because I'm your father, or Stacey would say, just because I'm your mother, you can't do this, but we would listen.
So now if they have a dream or something they want to do, you'll probably react to it differently than he did to yours.
Our son, Max, is a director and a producer. He has a deal on the Fox lot. My daughter is an extraordinarily talented teacher. And our oldest son is an executive in an entertainment company.
But it doesn't always work out that way. Some kids never learn from the mistakes of their parents and do the exact same thing their parents did to them.
That is because the parents sound exactly like their parents. When that happened, when my parents would come flying out of my mouth, I would stop and I would say, okay, that's not what I meant. I'm going to back up now. I'm going to say the sentence again. This is the way I meant to say it.
So you write this book about, like, 'cause, you have this strained relationship, and then you write this book about a kid who's got something he needs to overcome. I haven't read the book.
Every kid has something to overcome. They're too short. They're too tall. They've got acne. They're not good at sports. They're not good socially. Or they have trouble in school. And what I tell children, this kid, Hank Zipser, he is ingenious. He figures it out his own way. I tell kids, whatever happens in school, that does not define you. You've got greatness in you.
It's hard when you're disappointed, because my parents, they had high expectations of me. They expected, and because they said I was so handsome and charismatic that they expected big things.
Well, if your listeners could see, their eyes would be blinded right now. I have sunglasses on because I cannot stare at this man.
Well, there's a great phone call coming in. I didn't think Night Shift was underrated. This guy wants to commend you on an underrated movie, Night Shift. We'll let him talk.
You know
John,
why? Okay.
I didn't think that movie was underrated at all. I love Night Shift.
Yeah.
Go ahead, John.
Yeah, how you doing, guys? Jim,
Pretty good.
Hi, John.
Mr. Winkler. How are you, bud?
Good, thank you.
I just really love that movie. I thought it was... I don't hear too much about it anymore.
Do you know what? When it first came out, it didn't do well in the theater because they sold it as a teenage movie. And really, it was a young adult movie. And it only became a hit when it went on cable. That's when it took off. And it still holds up today. It was Michael Keaton's first movie.
Hey, you opened the doors for him.
Well, you know what? He was just brilliant. I was asked by Ron, he said, look, you can play either role, just be in my movie. And I thought, well, I've done the Fonz, who's like Billy Blaze, like the Michael Keaton character. I'm going to play Richie.
Wow.
And it worked.
Yeah.
And that's how the world was introduced to Michael Keaton. And how far removed from Happy Days were you at that point?
I was still doing it.
You were? Okay.
So when I went back to do it, I had to... Where am I? Who
it was a different character.
Yeah. He was so different, and I was shooting it at the same time as I was doing Happy Days. I had to look in the mirror and go, whoa, you got to change your attitude now.
Yeah.
How were the fans? Did the fans accept it, that different character you were doing?
They did hear, but the first movie I did was Heroes, and I thought I needed to be different. You know, they invited me to do Grease, the movie, and of course, I didn't. I decided, well, I've done it already. I'm not going to do Grease. So John Travolta.
Were you in Lords of Flatbush?
I did Lords of Flatbush. That was first.
Before
I ever left. Before I ever left New York City.
Okay.
Then I did Heroes, and it was too much of a stretch. It was like, I didn't get it exactly.
I got to be honest, I don't remember Heroes that much.
Harrison Ford just came back. Okay. Sally Field, who is at this moment down the hall in the studio, was the star. She came out of The Flying Nun and became this incredibly award-winning actress.
Yeah. Have you been offered or asked to play something that you just, it's a role that in principle you want, I don't want to play that kind of guy? I mean, there's roles you said no to, but is there one?
Only because I couldn't figure out because of the way it's written.
Okay.
That is the only, I think everything in my stomach informs me. And I get a feeling, oh, I can do that, or, oh, you know what, I'm in the wrong place.
Okay.
And all right, guys, it was a pleasure to talk to you.
You
right,
too.
John.
Thank you.
And good luck.
Thank you.
I would suggest you check out Night Shift if you've never seen that movie. I think it holds up.
It is funny.
It's a very funny movie.
You know, Ron Howard, it was his first major movie, and he was so worried because he was so young that no one would listen to him. The crew had been, 25 years in the business. But Ronnie is so powerful personally that he would say, let me think about that for a minute, and he would stop. And the entire crew, the cast, we would all wait to hear what Ron had to say. He commanded that kind of respect that early on.
You guys still friends?
Yes, we are. I have more hair.
Do you tell him that?
Never.
Never.
As a matter of fact, I comment and I compliment him on the little he's got left.
Do you keep in touch with all? I know it's such an awful morning zoo question, but you do talk to all. I'm kind of
yes. Now Marion is in Kansas doing a play.
Mm-hmm.
She's in her 80s. She is vibrant and fun and just a great woman. Don and Anson. Don is out singing with a combo. He's a crooner. Doing very well. Anson Williams is a director of over 300 hours of television.
We finally had him in here.
Yeah.
He was a trip.
He's a really good guy.
Yeah,
right?
we liked him a lot.
A lot of energy.
Yes. Told a great story going out with Lyndon Johnson's daughter. It's odd.
He went out with everybody's daughter.
He did, right?
Yeah, he did.
He was really a handsome guy.
He was a dog.
Yeah.
He was a dog.
Oh
back
my
then.
gosh.
Yeah.
Well, you could have cleaned up if you wanted to.
I could have, but then I met Stacy and.
Did you meet your wife when Happy Days was filmed? Okay.
We met in 1976, 77.
Just when Happy Days was
taken off.
How would people react to you when you were
cried
out?
himself to sleep a few nights.
Yeah.
Well, I was driving along. Stacy was next to me, and I was waving. And she said, "Do you know these people?" I said, "No, I don't know these people. They're waving at me. I'm waving at them." People were always, from the beginning, so unbelievably warm.
Were guys ever did guys ever want to confront you, or they wanted to?
They would confront Sly Stallone and see how tough he was. But I was always considered a friend.
Wow.
Yeah, Fonzie was so likable.
Yeah.
You know, even though he got all the chicks and stuff like that,
Right.
you couldn't be jealous
I've
of
never
Fonzie.
been challenged. It's always like, oh my God, you're my pal. You know?
How's Erin Moran doing?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I
know she had some problems
We've lost
there.
touch with her completely. She is, I think, still somewhere in the Midwest.
Right.
Yeah, I met her and her husband at some Comic-Con.
Right.
Probably about 4 or 5 years ago.
Right. That was the last time.
People have heard of her, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully
I hope she's doing well. Yeah.
Well, it's nice to know everybody's. And we asked you about Chuck the one time. You don't know what happened to him,
Well,
right?
there were two Chucks. The first Chuck decided after 2 episodes he did not want to be an actor anymore.
That's crazy.
I'm honest to God. So he left the show, went to San Diego, and sold insurance. Then Gavin came, and he was the second Chuck. And what happened was the Fonz became the older brother.
Right.
And so I filled that space. So they sent him upstairs to pack for college. He never came down again.
Wow. What is he doing today?
He's still on stage 19 somewhere in the rafters. No, he moved to Ireland, and I saw him 10 years ago, maybe. He's still acting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was he, do you think, resentful?
I would imagine he was, yeah.
Considering what happened to that show. Sure. Wow.
Yeah, every time that song, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, he's probably just like, turn it off. I can't.
He just punches a wall somewhere.
Yeah, that's got to be difficult. The people that have left or been thrown off, like Spear Chuck, or the character, like the black character on the early episodes of MASH. And it's like then you see what that show becomes.
Right.
And I think they said there weren't any black doctors in the force or in the MASH unit, so they discontinued his role because it wasn't realistic.
Right.
That's gotta suck.
Yeah, it wasn't accurate enough. Let's go to Ken in Jersey. He's got a good question for Henry Winkler. Ken, go ahead.
Hey, Henry, it's a pleasure to speak with you.
Thank you, Ken. How are you?
I'm good. So one of my favorite movies that you did was An American Christmas Carol, where you played Scrooge.
Right.
And these guys are talking about you being the nicest guy in the world. I was just wondering how you were able to pull that off.
Well, first of all, remember, that's what I studied. I studied to be an actor, to play all different characters. I was scared out of my mind. It took me a long time to say yes to that character because all of these great actors have played Scrooge before. And then there was young me. And I did this in 1979 for ABC television. And I'm so happy that I had the courage to say yes. I was in makeup from 3:45 in the morning until 10 in the morning to play Scrooge. They pasted, I think, 12 pieces of rubber on my face.
It looks pretty good though when you're looking at it in the photo. A lot of times HD, when now things are shown in HD, you look at makeup and go, "Oh, I see the lines,
You
or
could
I
see
see it." But at least in the photo, it looks pretty good.
So you sat in a chair for 7 hours to
Yes,
get
I
makeup
did.
every morning.
Yes, I did.
And you only played Scrooge from 3:45, technically, with the makeup to 10 in the morning?
That's how long the makeup took.
That's when.
Oh, just the makeup
Just
part.
the makeup.
Okay, sorry.
Then from 10 to 9.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I misheard you.
Or I would do the scenes, and then they would take the makeup off me for 45, 50 minutes, and then I would play the younger scenes in the afternoon.
That's a long day.
Hello.
So how long did it take to shoot it?
You gotta really have energy. And then, of course, I did the same for Click with Adam Sandler. Kazu, this incredible Japanese makeup artist, made me up. And there, the rubber had been refined because it was all these years later. So it was much more comfortable on my face. But it took about the same amount of time.
There you go.
Do you like
I've
what TV is? Oh, sorry, buddy. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I've heard that Tim Allen stopped doing the Santa Claus because of makeup issues and rashes that he got from that makeup. Did that happen with you?
You know what? I was lucky enough that it didn't, but I have to say people are allergic to latex, and it can give you a rash.
For $20 million
really-
film, you take the rash.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
You do.
I really appreciate talking to you. Thanks
Me too.
for taking the call.
All right.
Stay dry.
Hey, yeah, we have labeled you the nicest man in the world, or at least the nicest man we've ever had on the show.
Yeah.
See, I'm
that's
very proud of that.
That's your title.
Would your wife agree with that?
No. No.
Can I ask the nicest man in the world a question?
Yes, go right
A
ahead.
tougher question?
Yes, go ahead.
What's your thoughts on Donald J. Trump?
Yeah, because you were in the Art of the Deal on Funny or Die.
Yes. Oh, I acted with Johnny Depp.
That's why we're bringing it up.
What a great guy.
Yeah.
And I only saw him, I met him 40 years ago, maybe. And so now I only saw him in the Donald Trump makeup. So I am conflicted about Donald Trump. Does he know exactly what he is doing? Is it off the cuff? And how can you say, I'm against violence, I want to punch the guy in the face? That older gentleman who clocked that African-American young man on TV, that was really not a joke. That was really violent and came out of nowhere.
Yeah, that looked bad.
People have given me the finger and have lived. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's not a reason to hit somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that looked pretty bad.
And now Trump's sort of saying he'll pay for that guy's legal fees. I don't know where that's at
Well,
right
he
now.
said he was going to look into it, but after that video, there's no way you can justify that.
He's probably trying to back
But
out of that
you have
whole
to
thing.
understand, I believe that he already looked into it. I believe he had seen the video. Trust me that somebody brought him a phone, one of his minions, and showed him what everybody else saw.
Yeah, absolutely. It's there was one other thing. Oh, night shift. Someone, one more question, then we
Sure.
We got William H. Macy coming in any second too.
Oh wow, shameless.
Let's say hi to
How
Rob
about
in Jersey.
his wife? You have to ask him. His wife has got to be one of the best actresses on TV.
Who is he married to?
He is Felicity Huffman.
Oh, I didn't know that.
You want to ask him? Bring him in.
She's on Crime Story,
Right?
American Crime.
Rob, real fast because we're going to bring in William H. Macy.
Yeah, cool. Hey, Henry. Just heard Belushi's anniversary of his death was last week, and I read something that he was up for Michael Keaton's role in Night Shift. Is that true?
You know what? I don't know that because we did not meet. I auditioned with almost every actor for that role. Maybe he said no, that he couldn't do it or didn't want to do it, but I was not part of that decision.
Okay, cool. I don't know. It's something I just read last week. I just figured I'd ask. But anyway, thanks again.
What a pleasure.
So you like Shameless? Like, because TV is so much different than when you were on it.
Do you watch Banshee?
No.
It's coming on in April again. Or We Love Billions. Do you watch Billions?
I like
haven't
Billions.
seen that, no.
Wow.
Billions is fun. I'm watching Baskets.
I've never watched Baskets.
I binge
you
watched
enjoy
the whole thing this weekend. I did all 8 episodes.
Hey, here's a show on Netflix called Peaky Blinders.
I've heard of it.
I'm telling you, if you watch one, you've got to listen a little bit for the accent. But once you get the accent, you will never leave your home again.
What's it about?
It is about a gang on the street in Manchester, England, 1920. And Tom Hardy plays the gang that runs alcohol in London. And it is unbelievable.
Like Boardwalk Empire for British people, pretty much.
But better for me.
Okay.
Peaky Blinders.
Nice.
Is it based on real guys the way Boardwalk Empire was, or no?
Do you know what? I would imagine these guys lived and still live. This is the way it's conducted on the streets.
Okay, so if they're not actual guys, it's still about
Yes, right.
a realistic.
I think I'm going to check out Peaky Blinders.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then here's Hank.
Here's Hank.
Our newest novel.
Yes, and you can meet Henry, by the way, who is I've been to one of your readings. I would walk by a Barnes and Noble years ago, and I saw that you were, and I had to go in and just watch it. And you were great. You were reading from it. He was friendly to every person who came up to get an autograph, like with the book. It was really an awesome experience. And the book tour tomorrow in Newtown Theater in Philadelphia at 7 p.m. Wednesday, the DeKalb County Public Library in Atlanta, 7 p.m. And Thursday is Oklahoma City. You're all over the place.
Yes.
Friday is San Francisco, and Saturday is the Grove in Los Angeles in the afternoon. So is there a website people can go to get the information?
Do you know what? At Penguin or Grosset, the publisher, the Grosset, and then my partner Lynn Oliver and I are touring across the country, and we cannot wait to see you.
That is awesome.
Yeah, what do you do in the tour? What you guys go to do theaters and
we go to sometimes the bookstore is not big enough. And
Are you bragging, sir?
No.
Bragging.
I'm just telling you the truth.
bragging right
no,
there.
No. They come to see the Fonz, and they wind up buying Hank Zipser for their grandchildren, their children, or just to have it for themselves.
William H. Macy.
Where is he?
Don't get up.
Hello.
This is Henry Winkler.
How are you, man? Good to see you.
He's a big fan of Shameless.
So you are unbelievable on Shameless, but I need you to do me a favor.
Yeah.
When you go home,
Yeah.
I need you to hug your wife. The difference from last year to this year, the entirely other human being that she has created, I am in awe.
I am too. She is amazing. And don't you love that format where an actor gets to play a completely different...
Like they are a repertory group.
Yeah, exactly.
But I want to say that you have courage. What you play, what you allow yourself to do on Shameless is shocking for any human being.
Including me.
But you're fabulous.
Thank you.
I'm happy to tell you that in person.
Thank you.
His character's a little different.
You, man. I've been a fan for years
Thank
and years
you.
and years. I love
Thank you.
everything you're doing, too.
Thank you.
Have you guys never met before?
Yeah, we
live in the same home.
Shameless is actually based on
Gentlemen,
Henry.
thank you
You don't
so
have to
much.
leave unless they're telling you.
You know what? It's William's turn.
I'll tell her what you said.
Really?
Yeah.
That's no joke.
She is the bee's knees.
The bee's knees. Yeah. Last year, she played this uptight, hateful woman who was boxed in by her rigidity. This year, she is a politician who has the big picture, who is a principal of a private school, who is... the difference is astounding.
Yeah.
Really.
She did great things with her appearance, too. It's so subtle.
Absolutely.
Completely different.
Completely different. But it also comes from her energy. Of
course.
That makes her look different.
Yeah, she's the real thing.
Henry,
Thank you.
Pleasure.
Thank you, Henry.
Yeah, and we'll all pick up your book. Here's Hank.
Thank you.
You can't drink a meatball through a straw. Yes.
Thank you.
Do you want to?
Yes, I will.
Get in here.
We want to get. Oh, thank you, buddy. We'll see you soon. Okay. I
hope so.
I want to. I want to get a group picture. That's it.
4 more.
All right. Okay. Oh, hold on.
I want this picture.
We're taking a group photo. Henry and William want a photo together, and they're politely allowing all of us to ruin it.
One more.
We're just sitting here on the radio taking photos.
I got
This
on,
is great.
Yes, I know. I just had to let people know what we're doing.
I got on the end so you guys can crop me out easily.
We're on
That will happen.
for my children.
Okay.
All right.
That must be the very fun part of being famous, is that you see people who you like or who you
it's wicked cool.
admire, and they know who you are, and they actually like your work, or you get to work with them.
I know. I'm still sort of gobsmacked when I run into celebrities, too.
Who is somebody that you wanted to work with, or like an idol that you got to, like, that kind of floored you a little bit?
John Travolta. It was, you become used to the fact that you're working with him, and then you keep being reminded it's John Travolta, man. It's, great story. We were doing Wild Hogs together, and we were out in the country in New Mexico, and there was a farm, And we were doing road work, and there was this big farm, and I went down because there was a big dairy barn, and I grew up in Western Maryland, and I just have an affinity for barns. And I went down there, and John followed me. So we walk into this giant dairy barn, and there's the dairy farmer there, and he looks up and he goes, "Hey," and I go, "Yeah, we're shooting up there on the road. And he was so cool, the fact that out in the middle of New Mexico, John Travolta walked into his barn.
Oh, wow.
And I didn't see him do it. Pretty soon, the wife and the daughters start showing up, and they just couldn't believe it. Here's John Travolta in their barn.
In their barn.
Well, you're in one of the greatest films of all time. I can never stop talking about Boogie. You play a great guy in distress.
Yeah.
Like, you really do play like a great guy with problems.
Yeah.
Boogie Nights and...
Fargo.
Fargo. You play somebody who really has a lot of shit.
The Cooler.
Yeah. Hey, it beats working.
God, The Cooler.
I love The Cooler.
One of my favorite movies of all time.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So underrated.
I don't know. I guess after Fargo, I was worried that that's all I would get to play, and it hasn't been. I've gotten to play a bunch of different roles, but that does seem to be something that I do well.
Yeah. What's hard for you to play?
I guess I'd really like to be powerfully evil someday. I'd like to try that. I've never gotten to do that.
Like a Bond villain?
Yes. I had this theory that a lot of times when you get to the really hateful people, the racist, the Nazi, the whatever, that a lot of times they're not as terrifying as they could be, because actors and probably writers and directors too have a tendency to put quotes around what they do. You know, I'm not really a racist. You know,
right.
I'm just playing a role. I think it would be much more horrifying if you spent some time understanding that point of view and presented it well, and presented it so that it puts people on their back feet a little bit. And I'd like to try that someday.
Who do you think has played that role in that way? Or
particularly well?
Yeah, or come closest, I guess, to your vision.
Nothing comes to mind, which is perhaps why I'd like to try it.
You know what was a great example of a guy playing a really unpredictable psychopath, but was in 12 Years a Slave, William Fassbender. What's his first name? Fassbender? Michael Fassbender.
Michael Fassbender.
He played,
that's a good point. That's good.
He played this brutal slave owner who had this real sexual thing with one of his slaves, and it was like you see this. You understand he's a conflicted person, but he's also a really horrible. He was very frightening to me because he seemed like a real guy.
Yeah, that's the thing. Make him a real guy. Then you learn something about the face of evil. It's the banality of it.
The fact that, this is a person, I've seen before, I've spoken to before.
Yeah.
All right, so you want to play an evil character?
Yeah, I'd like to try that.
I think you'd be great at it.
Yeah.
I think everybody wants to play. It seems like it's fun to play someone evil as opposed to someone nice, right?
Or bad, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what Shameless is all about.
Of course it is.
It's great fun.
Where are we at with Shameless? Another great season, obviously. Frank Gallagher.
What is this for? How many seasons is this now?
This is 6 is airing right now, and we got picked up. We're going back, and
how many more you think?
There'll be 7 more.
7 more seasons?
I'm announcing that today.
So you're going up to 13?
I'm also building a house. That might have something to do with my announcement.
I don't know if Frank Gallagher could last 7 more seasons.
I know. I don't know if I've only got half a liver as it is. I don't know. The writers keep bringing it. That's the test. We can act it all the live long day if they can keep writing it.
And you'd probably rather the show go away before the public decides it's time.
Yeah, that's one of
You're not at that point, by the way. Shameless is absolutely not at that point.
I agree.
It's still killing it.
But when you're in a success, a lot of times it goes a year or 2 after its expiration date. And those are rough years. And all you have to show for it is lots and lots of money.
Yeah.
Right. They what do you think happens? Do the guys get sick of playing the characters, or is it a combination of that and the writing? They don't know where else to go.
I think it has to do with the writing. I think it has to do with the story just runs out. You've explored all the possibilities. There's nothing, jumping the shark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we asked him about that once.
Who do you
Why
think?
would I say that?
It's got to be tough to hang in there for another season when you know it's kind of finished, but there is a nice paycheck, and you're like, I got some time in between another movie coming up.
Yeah. it's the converse of that is when the writing is inspired. Boy, it's a joy to go to work. There's not much an actor can do. It all begins and ends really on the page.
Yeah.
I've always thought the Academy Award should be, and the best written role goes to.
Right.
Yeah.
Because there's some great actors who it's just not as good a movie, or it's not as accessible to people.
You have an awesome cameo, it's not even a cameo, an awesome role in Room, which is about that girl who's in captivity and she has a son and they wind up, and you play the girl's father and just the trouble you have looking at her son because it reminds you of what happened. Really, just an awesome, uncomfortable role.
Yeah, I'm glad I did that. It fell into that category of what could I do in my hiatus, and I love that script, and I've been a fan of Brie Larson for a long, long time, and I talked to Lenny, the director, and he said all the right things. I wish I was in it more. I shot about 5 scenes, and 3 of them made it in, but it had impact. It certainly had impact.
Yeah, your role, I thought, was the most uncomfortable thing in the entire film. Besides the fact they were kidnapping, he was raping her, it goes without saying, but the way you reacted, it was like, ugh.
I know, to disavow your own grandson because you can't look at him.
Yeah, but you didn't say, it was just not looking at him. It wasn't like you said it or you said some over-the-top thing, which is why I would have ruined that role, because I would have went, no, and I would have spoiled it.
You would have had to made it very obvious, Jimmy?
Yeah, but with you, it was just quiet and subtle.
Well, and it was a lovely piece of writing, too. I didn't make that up.
Yeah.
Now, I got to ask you about, so Frank Gallagher, he's not really for the establishment, but who would Frank Gallagher vote for in this election that is unfolding in our eyes if he had to?
Yeah. I don't think it's Trump. He's such a contrarian. He'd probably end up voting for Bernie or Hillary just to piss off his friends.
There you go. That's a good answer.
Do you ride motorcycles since Wild Hogs? Is it what it's called? Wild Hogs?
Wild Hogs, yeah.
Okay, I
do.
So. I don't want to fuck that up.
Got a little Triumph that I ride around town.
Yeah.
And
is the Triumph the one with the 3 wheels?
No.
That's not, okay, all right.
Oh, please.
Come on, how could you ask that?
Yeah. 3 wheels.
It looks like an old Bonneville,
Okay.
In The Great Escape, when he hopped over the fence, that was a Bonneville. This is a remake of that. It looks like a vintage bike, but it's about 800 cc's. If you dropped it, you could pick it up, and it's great to be around town. I also have a Harley Softail Classic, and that's a lot of motorcycle. That's 1,000 pounds worth of motorcycle.
But no 3-wheelers. I saw one on the highway yesterday.
Bizarre, aren't they?
They are strange. I'm trying to figure it out.
I know, and I think you don't have to have a motorcycle license to ride one of those things.
It makes sense. It's I don't know.
Not a lot of sense. You could kill yourself just as fast on that.
I guess.
But just coming on the turns is probably a little bit easier on 3 wheels.
I guess.
Or do you think it would flip easier?
I've never been on one. I don't know.
Have you fallen off your motorcycle?
No, knocking wood. No.
Okay.
No. I've dropped it once or twice, which is humiliating, but
in front of people?
I tell you what, I took a big trip. I went from L.A. up into Montana, Wyoming, and I ended up at a dude ranch where Felicity and the girls were, and I stayed with them for a while and then went on to Aspen, Colorado, where we have a home. At any rate, for the first time, 10, 12 years of riding, I got caught in the rain, and it is miserable. And I had a good rain suit, but I didn't think about my feet, and I had them up in front of me. I could feel my boots filling with water, and it was cold, and my gloves got soaked. At any rate, I stopped at a coffee shop, thought I'd wait out the rain. That wasn't going to work, but I drank 9 gallons of coffee, so I get on the freeway. I gave up the sexy motorcycle roads. I'm trying to get where I'm going, and I had to pee like a racehorse, so I pulled over on the interstate. It was flat land. I couldn't find any place where no one could not see me, so I finally found a place. I went down there. As I'm coming back up, a gust of wind, and here comes my bike. It fell towards me, and I broke the fall of the thing, but down it went. I couldn't pick it up. I'm on a freeway in the middle of nowhere, and the cars are zooming past, and it's pissing rain. I finally got my hands free so I could do this gesture of, are you joking? No one's going to stop? Do you see what's happening? And this guy in a truck. And by this time, I was freezing cold. When my bike fell, I took off my helmet. I was sweating bullets, and my helmet rolled down the hill and into the creek. Yes.
Did the guy know who you are when he stopped?
He did not. He and his wife said, we ride. I know just what happened. Hold on. And his wife said, here, honey. And she went down to the creek and got my soaking wet helmet from the creek. Okay, here's the end of the story. I'm minutes from the hotel where I'm going, where there is a massage waiting, and my map has gotten wet, and I can't read the last 3 directions. So I'm in some little town, and I'm lost. I stopped at a service station, and she took one look at me. She said, "Oh, honey, you're really close. It'll be okay." So I get there. I'm unpacking the bike, and there's a wedding party, and all these little kids, and they recognize me. So they all want to get their picture. And I saw this woman sort of wandering around. And at a point, when I'm taking pictures and trying not to lose my temper because I just wanted a bath and my massage, which I missed, and this woman, at a point, gets herself between me and all the kids and goes, "Hey," and lifts up her shirt.
For the picture?
Yeah. No, just shows me her, and they were
nice.
Pulitzer Prize winners, man. And then goes, he, and runs away. I go, thank you. You lifted this day wonderfully.
Yeah, you kind of needed that.
That's a nice end to a trip.
That's a wonderful end.
And right now, those people, by the way, that couple probably will turn on TV and they'll see something like Shameless. It doesn't look like that idiot who fell off his motorcycle. He reminds me of that guy.
No idea.
I know someone that's stupid.
Right.
You in Colorado, do you ski? What do you do when you're out there?
We ski. I'm a bit of a carpenter. I have a real nice shop and make things.
What do you like to make?
You name it. I've made some good furniture, heirloom stuff, and but I fix things. I built a bridge at my house. Made a mantle for over my fireplace.
Nice.
You name it.
Is that something you picked up like recently, or were you always doing that? And that was like the first option, and then acting kind of worked.
I actually supported myself doing light carpentry for people in the beginning of my career. But my dad was very handy, and you would think it's soothing and comforting. It's not. I lose my temper all the time. I'm the worst carpenter I know.
It's not like painting, taking up painting. It's relaxing.
This isn't. This is, I'm of the thing, measure once, cut 4 times, and keep going back to the lumberyard to get more wood.
It's real work.
It's like playing pool. They say, it's not relaxing, because every time I miss, I'm like, you piece of fucking shit. And I feel worse about myself.
Lose your mind.
I know.
So are you good at putting things together? Like if you get something with instructions, I have no knack or patience for doing that, but you can actually sit with an instruction book and go step by step and not go from step 1 to step 5 and then get frustrated?
I do that. If I read the instructions, I can put it together. But I always go, yeah, I get it. And then I screw it up and I have to go back and fix it.
Yeah, there's 16 screws left over.
Yeah.
You think you have it together.
I once did a valve job on my van. That was pretty good.
Did it work, or was there...
It started. I couldn't believe it.
You were surprised.
There weren't that many pieces left over after I put it back
That's
together.
great. That's always a good sign.
It's a nice feeling, like as when you do something and you complete something. I think that's why men like to do that shit, because there's a beginning, middle, and end to it, and you can kind of see the results.
It's true.
I'm not good at it.
It's true. I turn bowls. I've got a big Powermatic lathe. And you can turn a bowl and finish the whole thing in about 2 hours. And so you start with a big block of wood and you have a salad bowl 2 hours later.
You could do that.
I can do that.
That's pretty impressive. Are you into yoga?
I've taken some yoga classes.
No, because I saw a tweet where you like farting in yoga classes or something.
Well,
I was trying to...
we were in Hawaii. Felicity.
We appreciate a good fart story here. I'm bringing this up with Willie Macy. I can't believe it. But.
Oh, man. Pound for pound, there is nothing funnier on earth than a fart.
Always. It's true.
You're my favorite actor. You always were, but now you definitely...
Flicka kept saying, we have to take yoga. At our age, we have to start yoga. And I don't like to be still and think and feel things. I'm Lutheran. I don't like that stuff. Anyway, I go to this yoga class in Hawaii. We were on vacation, and some of the finest looking women, about 20 of them, and I get in there and I think, whoa, Lord, and yoga clothes are
ridiculous.
Good, really. Yes. And I don't know who it was, but someone let out a good C sharp, and it went on for about 10 seconds in this dead quiet room filled with beautiful women, and I started laughing. And you have to breathe, so all my breathing went. I laughed for an hour because no one ever claimed it. No one.
So you think it was a woman who did it?
Well, there were only women. I didn't fart, and I was the only guy there.
But everyone thought you did. You do know that.
Did. Yes.
Was your wife like, come on,
she did.
You're a grown man. You shouldn't be laughing at that.
I said, how could you miss that? You could have heard this.
How did she miss it?
But she was in the class and she didn't even hear it.
Yeah.
That means she's doing yoga properly.
She's in her zone.
Yes, that's what that's all about.
Now, you like yoga clothes. Do you mean on women? You like how they look?
Oh man,
that's amazing, right?
The greatest.
Yeah, there's a yoga class near my house, and I love to be outside when they're all going to that.
Yeah,
camel toe. He just happens to be outside.
Yeah, did I get too specific there? But yeah,
it was a bit much.
He knows when the classes are letting out. That's wonderful.
He just stands on the porch drinking coffee, watching everybody walk out in their yoga pants.
He's like, anybody need a salad bowl? I just made one.
I was doing some research on you, and you did a movie called Rudderless, which I did not see, I'll be honest with you, but the synopsis sounds fascinating. And the concept where all parents are just, in the end, you think you're doing the right thing and trying to raise your kids properly, and in the end, you're just rudderless and hoping for the best when you finally say you're on your own.
It's the first film I ever directed, mostly. It's the first feature I did. There he is. Billy Crudup stars. It's about school shootings.
Right.
And the big question is, what must that be like to get that phone call? And there is if I do say so, a pretty stunning middle of the script turnaround. And I was pretty proud of that film.
I'm definitely going to check it out. I just read about it last night.
Oh, Billy's great. Anton Yelchin is in it. Felicity is in it.
Yeah.
She's stunning, too.
Absolutely. Do you like directing?
I do. Sunday, I'm going to do my third film. It's called Crystal. I'm going to Atlanta, Georgia, and here I go again, off to the races. Yeah. I'll tell you, I think being president of the United States is a harder job. I can't think of any others.
Mm-hmm. When you're directing, is there a temptation like you want to put yourself in the movie, or when you're acting, don't you want to like just tell the director sometimes like you don't know what the fuck you're doing, like?
To the first, no. Acting and directing at the same time sucks hippo dick, and it's awful. I was in Rudderless for a nanosecond. I wasn't in the second one, which is called The Layover. It's not out yet. I just finished the color mix on it. But I will act in the next one. It's called Crystal with Felicity. We play husband and wife, and I'm actually looking forward to it. I directed a Shameless one time,
right.
And normally you either act well or direct well, but not both. But in Shameless, I managed to do both badly in my episode.
Oh, it messed you up having to actually direct yourself?
I don't have a big enough brain to do both. It's hard to act well. But I think what I'm going to do this time is I'm just going to be so exquisitely prepared to act. Also, I have a great producer, Rachel Winter, who's been my partner in this thing, and she'll sort of take over the 4 scenes that I have to do.
Are certain guys harder to direct, like because of who they are? Like certain actors, are directors intimidated by working with certain guys?
I'm sure. I'm not an experienced enough director to know, but some actors are really tough. They show up with an edge, and I think it comes from fear, certainly. Past abuses by other directors. I tell you, one of the things I learned about directing is I'm a lot more forgiving of directors now. I like to be part of the solution. If the director is not quite clear what he or she is doing, I like to offer up solutions in a way that he or she can take it or leave it, and I want to help.
You want to be a helper.
What's something that would indicate a director doesn't know what they're doing, like, or that you've seen that you're like, ugh?
Well, job number one is generalship. It's more like the Normandy invasion than making art. The popular illusion is that you sit around and you talk about the character and acting and truth. And the reality is you have 12 hours to get 14 hours of film in the can. That's what you're doing. So a bad director is one who is a bad general. Doesn't know how to prioritize. This is an important scene. We'll go a little over. This is not an important scene. It's when you get to the 13th, 14th hour and you're chasing the sun and the most important scene in the movie has been shortchanged. That's bad leadership.
Okay.
Do you feel like the actors are intimidated by you when you're directing because of who you are?
I really hope so. I think being in the tribe, I can do things that other directors can't. It's not unusual to see the lighting guys come in and they're moving the lights, and you go, "What's going on? What's going on?" Well, he's out of his light a little bit. And I said, "No, leave the lights there." And I go to the actor and say, "Get in the light, man. What's the matter with you? You want to be in the movie? Get in your light." The sound man keeps going, and I say, "What's going on?" And he says, "Well, I can't really hear him." And I say, "Speak the fuck up. Why would you come all the way here if you don't want to be heard? Speak up."
I looked up hippo dick while you guys were asking those questions.
Yes.
And boy, it has to suck hippo dick.
Yeah, just Google delicious.
I had to understand hippo dick when he said it sucks hippo dick. And wow, it looks like an old tree branch.
It's not something you want to do.
It's not pretty. No, wow. That is a problem.
That's kind of what a hippo should be packing, though. By the way, I've always meant to ask you, because I've never asked you before, about Boogie Nights. When you said my wife's got an ass in her cock, that was literally just a mistake that they left in?
Yes. You guys do this all day, don't you?
Yeah. I love it, yeah.
Looking up, I wouldn't even think to Google hippo.
No.
I'm sorry about that.
No, I meant ass in her because I remember that scene. It was such a cool thing to have in
I did the scene, and Paul sort of giggled, and I said, "What?" And he said, "You said ass in her cock." And I said, "Oh, sorry." So we did the scene again. I did it right. We did it again. He said, "You did it again." I said, "No, I didn't." He said, "You did. You said ass in her." I said, "I don't think I did. You can check I don't think I did." At any rate, when the film came out, that's what he used, and it
works.
There's something correct about it, isn't there? There's something psychologically correct.
It works. What is that? Someone's phone going off? Your phone.
I'm humiliated.
Don't be.
We're ending the sixth season of Shameless. The season finale, we got to make sure people know, is April 3rd. So we got two or three left of this season.
Yeah, there's already another season 7.
Yes.
Yep, we're coming back.
That's
Boy, those
awesome.
writers are good. This is a good season.
Yes,
too.
it is.
You'll love this.
Yeah.
First script. In season 5, I met this young woman, and Frank fell in love. Actual, real, selfless love, not the narcissistic Frank, the addicted Frank that we know. And she died. So Frank is bereft. And the first episode, I'm at her grave. And it said, quote unquote, he has sex with her grave. No explanation. That's what it says.
Wow. And
I thought, okay. I did it. You have to watch it.
Yeah.
But,
nice.
I'm from Western Maryland, man. From dairy country. I read these scripts and I go, oh my God, what are you doing to me?
Are you ever shocked like that?
I'm always shocked.
That one obviously shocked you, but
they always shock.
They always shock you.
It's I'm like the audience. I'm thinking, stop.
Yeah.
Are you joking?
It's from a nice place. That's why my wife's got a cock in her ass was a hard thing to say. Is mine just kind of flipped the script a little bit.
Yeah. Yes, I guess so.
She was my only on-screen kiss ever was with Nina Hartley.
Really?
It was a short comedy we filmed at the comic strip probably in 2000. And I got to make out with her at the end. She was really lovely.
Oh, man. I love that broad. She is so cool. Smart as a whip.
Fan of her work?
Yes. As a rap gift, she gave everyone her, videos at that point. I got Nina Hartley's Guide to Anal Intercourse.
Oh, nice.
Yes, I did.
And did you peruse it?
I did peruse it. There's a lot to learn.
I was going to ask you if you learned a thing or two.
Yeah.
Yeah, there certainly is. She's very open. I was afraid that I'd never kissed. Your first kiss on screen, again, there's only been one for me, but it's very nerve-wracking because you don't know how to touch the act. Like, I was afraid of being disrespectful. Like, if I touched her breast, she would get angry, and she was awesome. It's a scary thing, though.
It is. It's not comfortable.
Do you use tongue when you kiss?
No.
You don't?
Well, not on purpose. It's a very bizarre thing. I mean, first of all, they waited until I was 50 years old to ask me to do this stuff. I kept myself in shape all those years, and all I was a doormat for everyone. And then suddenly I'm asked to take off my clothes and do sex scenes.
Yeah, like the scene in the cooler with Maria Bello. You guys, that was pretty much, that was almost like porn.
Yeah.
You guys were full naked, full on. I mean.
Oh, Lord.
Is there rules before you go in? Like you guys talk, like, okay, can I touch you here? I'm just going to go for it. I don't know where this is going because you don't really know going in.
Yeah.
You guys have an agreement going in before?
I do that. I talk about it. It's a lot easier if you just say the unspeakable before you get started. And the other thing is, especially on Shameless, I am a sort of their champion, and I just make sure that the women are comfortable and well taken care of. And I always say, you don't have to fight any battles. You just give me the high sign, and it's over. We'll stop. I'll do your bidding for you. And with Maria, I was off to do that thing, and Felicity pulled me aside, and she said, I don't know if you know this, but every time you talk about these sex scenes, you're going, oh, no. And I was just dreading them. And she said, my suggestion is call the director and cut them, or stop saying that and figure out how you're going to do them. And I thought, oh, my God, because she said, you're preparing to fail. That's what you're doing. So I put my acting chops to it. I analyzed those sex scenes the way I would any other scene. What's different at the end of the scene than at the beginning? What transpired? Where's the moment? And Wayne Kramer, who directed the thing, I went through it with him, and to his credit, 2 of the scenes we couldn't figure out what's different. And he cut them. He said they don't have a place in the movie. And the rest of them, there was something to do. And then we... at my behest, we went, we did, you'll pardon the expression, a dry rehearsal the day before, where the DP was there, and Wayne and Maria and me, and we went through every single move, and we knew exactly where the camera was going to be. So we took all the variables out, and it made us braver. And, that scene where it pans down the bed, and my pants are around my ankles, and the only thing between young Will and the rest of the world was Maria's hand. And that was my idea. I was just...
Of course it was.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't it be?
I would do so many dry rehearsals. No, I don't have the scene right yet. We got to do another 10 times.
What a genius you are, too, to get your wife to actually go, no, really go for it.
Yeah.
He shucks it up at home, and she was like, no, it's okay, go ahead. Really.
She bought into his shucks, you think?
Good for you.
Well, it's weird to be married to an actress. I've watched her stuff. I actually don't watch it.
Do you get jealous if you see that?
Not jealous, but I don't watch. I don't need to see that.
It's kind of
weird.
What are
you going to say? Good job, honey. Yeah. I don't want to watch that.
Right. Too believable, right?
Yeah.
All right, but we have to wrap up because the show is ending, and they're saying that he has to go, and our show is over anyway.
Promoting Shameless. You don't have to promote this show. It's just amazing. Sundays at 9 on Showtime, with the finale airing April 3rd. This the 6th season of Shameless, and at least another one to come, which is great.
And William H. Macy on Twitter.
Yeah, that's it.
Thank you.
You're awesome.
Yeah, thanks,
gentlemen. This is fun.
You turned me on a hippo dick today, sir.
Yeah, right.
So.
That's a Dave Mamet phrase, by the way. It's in a play called A Sermon.
Okay.
A monologue. Very funny.
Well, you had that cameo in House of Games, which was awesome when they rip you off in the bus station.
That's right.
Just wanted to remind him of things he's done. All right.
That's how we wrap up.
That's a worthless comment I just made.
All right. We're out of here. Florentine, thank you so much. You don't have to, he's not going to stick through these dumb plugs. Not that they're dumb. I'm your savior, Jim Florentine's new special out April 1st, DVD, CD, and digital download now available for pre-order on Jim's website, jimflorentine.com.
Put in the promo code Florentine discount.
And that's it, right?
Yeah, in April 1-2, Bananas, Hasbrook Heights, New Jersey.
And Jimmy's got the week off.
Portland and Denver in 2 weeks.
JimNorton.com. We got to go. Thanks, guys. See you tomorrow.